think to head over to the parade. So let's take a look.
We've got the university on this side, haven't we? And those that couldn't find jobs on this side. That right? Those that didn't quite get the grades in the sixth form. Well, we'll be having a ring parade of all tonight's boxers. If Brendan, who has trained both sets of boxers, lets me know when they're ready, and we can crack on. We're ready if we can welcome both sets of boxers tonight, both University and Hallam boxers. Right, ladies and gentlemen, these are all the boxers that are competing tonight. And on top of this, we've had the most successful season ever at Sheffield, both universities, in the university boxing finals. We've managed 4 golds and 3 silver medals this year. So if the boxers that have won the golds are here, we've got Rowan Wardale from Hallam. Saying it for Rowan. Got Rizal Lewiski from Hallam. Got Joel Amino from Hallam. And not to be left out, from the Uni of Sheffield, Vlad Matai. Excellent work, you 4 lads. You did Sheffield proud. We're proud of you. Let's have a round of applause for those medal winners, gold medal winners in the box finals this year. And let's hear it for both teams of boxers. And boxing will start in about 5 minutes. Let's make some noise for both teams.
Hello and welcome back. What a parade that was. Great to see some of the gold medal winners out there as well. We should be in for an absolutely fantastic night this evening. Joining me to talk through it, we've got Adam and Ollie. Looking forward to it?
Yeah, it's going to be really amazing. I love the atmosphere already. I think it's going to be a great night.
Absolutely buzzing, isn't it, Ollie?
Yeah, boxing is the best event of Varsity every single year. It's because the atmosphere is great. It's so packed here in the Octagon. The fights always bring it. There's such an intense rivalry between the 2 universities. I tell you what, the MC was bringing those shots early on.
He was.
Yeah.
All right, we have got 8 varsity bouts and 1 non-varsity bout this evening, starting with Jay Pearce of Sheffield University and Tasha Taylor of Hull University. This should be a good one. It's a rematch, I believe, of the Bucks final earlier in the year. So looking forward to that one?
Yeah, it's going to be really good. I know quite close in categories, so it'll be a very good fight.
Yeah, we also have a women's boxing varsity bout for the first time, which has never been done before. So it's great to see that, and as well as this kind of showcase fight happening early on, you've got 10 great fights coming up for the rest of this evening.
Absolutely. So, Adam, what are you looking out for this evening? What are you hoping to see? Any knockouts?
Oh, I'm not sure. I will be very excited if it happens. You'll see me screaming, honestly. But I feel like, yeah, I just want clean fights, very good technical work, and that's what I can ask for, really.
So, for people who perhaps don't know, and I perhaps include myself in that, Ollie, what do you need to be a good boxer? What is necessary?
There's a lot of different things which go into it. Obviously, you need some sort of athletic ability, but there's also kind of the skill side of it, and so a lot of footwork, good vision, kind of good understanding of what your opponent's going to do, and kind of really good fundamentals. It all comes down to technique at the end of the day. But at amateur boxing, the technique tends to be, that's what they're really working on hard, as well as going to get their fitness up. Sometimes, amateurs, people who do a lot of amateur boxing have better technique than professionals. So, yeah, the crowd you might be able to hear in the background is definitely getting up. This is what you're in for the rest of the evening.
Yeah, this is what we come to Varsity for. So, coming up, Bout 3, Johnny Callan, Connor Quinlan. Bout 4, Alex Fraser, Charlotte Pritchard. These look good, don't they, Adam?
Yeah, honestly, I feel like I just love the amount of fights as well. We're going to have a great variety of fights as well, which will be very good to look forward to.
A good variation in weights as well. We just saw all the fighters up in the ring there, and first of all, they look in great shape. Well done to those guys for getting on weight and everything. But yeah, there's a lot of different weight classes, and yeah, amateur boxing is really going to bring it. This is where you see some of the best of amateur boxing, because it is so fiercely competitive. These guys have been training for this their entire year. In some other kind of sports or in other things, they might have had other things along the way, but this is the highlight of their year, and so they're really looking forward to it tonight, and we should be getting going soon as well.
Hope so, certainly hope so. If you had to call it, Adam, who is going to win tonight out of the two universities? Who is going to come out on top? That is a hard question, but
yeah, I know.
Who do you think? Who are you going for?
I feel like Taylor may edge it. I'm not sure. It'll be a very good fight. I think just looking at the fight, I think it will be decided a lot in the first round, and seeing how their ring control works and their technique, that will definitely show who will win.
Why? Do you think the same?
Yeah, a lot of the evening really depends on momentum. So we see in the past that maybe in the past Hallam have got kind of ahead of the team sometimes, and everyone else found it really hard to kind of get back after that. So if Hallam start winning early, or if University start winning early, then it might be difficult. The pressure really becomes on. Those fighters have to overcome that. They have to really start making a difference, and everybody will know in the change room how well their other opponents do. If there's maybe a big upset, one of the people they were expecting to win comfortably, if that kind of goes against them, then it could upset things. And there's a big change room tonight. There's a lot of fighters in there, so I'm sure the atmosphere is going to be good. There's going to be a lot of encouragement. They're really going to have to try and band together. But it's kind of like a team sport, which is normally obviously so individualistic. So it's really kind of a fascinating event altogether.
You have to be very intelligent to box, don't you?
Yeah. I think it's just massively about knowing what your opponent's going to do, and the spatial awareness that you have around the ring.
Psychological as well.
Yeah, massively as well. Like, I know a lot of fighters also listen to music to get themselves in the mode, and just to focus singly on that person.
Adam's a national taekwondo champion. I want to put this out early in the
story.
I'm
making me blush.
I've actually sparred with him. That's my claim to fame. But no, yeah. So Adam definitely knows what he's talking about. Yeah, absolutely. It's all about getting yourself in the right mental attitude to perform, because the pressure is immense. There's almost 1,000 people in here tonight, and half of them are going to be cheering for you, half of them will be booing for you, and this potentially is the biggest event of their boxing amateur career, and so they want to perform under the lights, in front of the crowd. So it looks like the MC's going to invite them.
Yeah, it looks like we're heading for bout number 1.
Pearce from Sheffield University. Natasha Taylor from Hull University.
For this showcase bout between Jade Pearce and Natasha Taylor. Josh, what are your thoughts on this bout?
So I think Jade Pearce, if you see her body language, she was before the boxing parade, she was gleaming. She cannot wait to come out here and fight. Natasha Taylor, a bit of a subdued walking. My thoughts on this bout, I think if Jade Pearce can ride the crowd, can ride the atmosphere, then I think she might be able to nip the win. However, Natasha Taylor, bit of an outsider here, she's got all to prove. Fighting with a chip on her shoulder, so you might see a nice performance from her. Your thoughts, Ashton?
I think Jade will have the backing of the crowd. It's harder for Natasha to come from Hull and fight when half of the crowd, at least, is on the side of Jade. It'll be an interesting fight, though, won't it?
It will, yes. And just to point out, this will be a showcase bout. This is not for a varsity point. It is for pride. It's all to play for Jade Pearce, a boxed silver medalist the past 2 years. And you see there, she's just getting ready, warmed up. Natasha Taylor being checked out by the referee. Jade Pearce just shadow boxing. Jade Pearce standing at 58 kilo, 5'6", 58 kilograms.
Round one about to start with the referee just finishing up the checks on the boxers and the announcer just announcing the boxers at the moment. You'll probably hear the shouts from just Sheffield Uni for the side. Hallam don't seem to be supporting the Uni of Sheffield, do they, Josh? In this fight. And now Natasha Taylor being announced, representing the University of Hull in this showcase bout.
It seems like Hallam have kind of taken to Natasha Taylor here, acting like she's a enemy, my name is my friend.
I'm not surprised, to be fair, I'm not surprised. The boxers touch gloves and go into their corners for some final words and for the start of the bout. We're now waiting for the referee to start the bout.
And here we go. The first bout of tonight is on with Jade Pearce, and both boxers going at it straight from the off. I thought they'd try and gauge the distance between each other, but I thought Jade Pearce and Natasha Taylor wasted no time in coming and getting things done here.
Jade's definitely gone in with some early jabs, some early hooks, but now they're standing off each other again, but again they go into each other, giving some hooks from Natasha Taylor, and now comes Jade Pearce with a few jabs and good combos from Jade so far.
Yeah, it seems like Jade was just standing off Natasha Taylor, just looking at the open spots, hitting like two nice jabs, went for the clinch there just to calm down proceedings. They've calmed down now after a hectic start. Taylor landing some jabs there. Nice footwork by both the fighters. You see now they kind of died off, gauging as they come together again there. Nice jab by Taylor, catching Pearce on the right side. What do you think of the bout so far, Ashton?
It's definitely, as you said, I was expecting them to find their distance first and then maybe build into it, but they've gone straight into it. Jade Pearce seems to be controlling the fight so far, with Natasha Fuller at the moment up against the ropes, but she's got out of that situation, has now found her some space and goes in for the right hook, with Jade Pearce responding with a nice blow to the body.
Well, if you look at the footwork by Pearce there for about 2 minutes, she kind of boxed in Taylor in the corner. As she's doing now here, she's closing down the space, closing down the area Taylor can get out. She's going to try and catch her on the outside. I tell you what, it's nice here. It's a nice jab there by Taylor as they clinch. Another nice connection there. A hook by Pearce, and Taylor hits again with a jab straight on the right cheek of Pearce. She might be rocked after that one.
It was a big punch there, but she's responded well, and she's again controlling it, again hitting with the uppercuts and the right hook. She works the body mostly, but she is got a good defence apart from that one hit. It was unlucky, that one hit, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's nice defence. Whenever any fighter's in trouble, they are going for the clinch. Has calmed down after a hectic start. Pearce just shadowing her opponent. It hits with a great left hook. Taylor goes for the clinch. And Pearce there, as the referee just breaks him up. Pearce got a nice another body shot on Taylor. Pearce seems to be on top, don't you think?
Sorry, which fighter?
Pearce.
Pearce, definitely. She's controlling it, but Natasha Taylor keeps coming up with some nice, clean and effective shots, which will definitely go into her favour.
It was a nice shot there, and there's another nice connection there by Taylor. A right jab. As Pearce comes back here with a nice combo. Taylor responds as there's 10 seconds left in this round. Taylor looks for a left hook. They both connect with a jab there as it looks just to close out this round. Another nice connection there by Taylor as the round ends. A bit of a balanced first round there. I thought Pearce might have got on top about halfway through, but Taylor did respond very well. Your thoughts?
Very balanced. I think Jade Pearce is definitely dominating. She's setting the pace. She's working the box. And it's a great start to the bout. But Natasha Taylor definitely coming well in with those nice counter-attack moves. And she's had a few good and clean shots to the face. Who do you think's on top so far?
As I say, I think it's balanced, but it's worth noting out that Jade Pearce has had 9 previous bouts. Her course at the University of Sheffield, her degree is aerospace engineering, so it's a testament to both physical and mental strength there for Jade Pearce, because aerospace engineering, very hard course, as both the coaches talk to their boxers. What do you think is going through their heads right now?
I think they'll be happy with their starts, both of them. Just a little few improvements, maybe. Maybe Natasha needs to make sure she's not boxed into the corners or against upper rings. And the second bell goes again with Natasha going straight for it with a few right and left hooks and a few jabs and a few cross punches.
I think a coach has got into her ear there, so you need to go out and you attack, be on the offensive. You are playing on a chip on your shoulder, but that does not mean you have to stand off Pearce. It is a boxing fight after all, isn't it? It's a boxing match.
Yes, she's had a very good start, but now she's up against the rings with Pearce reacting to that great start from Natasha Taylor, who has put in a few good jabs and is definitely having a better start. It
was a nice attack there by Pearce, a nice left jab. Got Taylor on the ropes, but Taylor used the red, returned some of the volleys of attacks, and is kind of go out here and is on the offensive here. She tries a right jab and hits with a cross and a left jab. She's going in here, hits with another right jab. There's definitely some points in there for Natasha Taylor after that nice flurry of attacks.
Definitely. Taylor seems to be making the better connections to Pearce and is getting those clean, nice shots to the face where Pearce is failing to do so. I'd say so far, Taylor's definitely come out the stronger fighter in this round.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it is clean connections to scored on. And it's another nice left hook there by Taylor. She's going, but I tell you what, Pearce is not going out without a fight here. Taylor has been on top for this round, but Pearce is trying to ride the crowd's atmosphere here. It's a great atmosphere in the Octagon today, and Pearce is trying to ride that to victory.
Yes, Hallam definitely taking the side of Natasha Taylor. So far, good. I noticed that Natasha Taylor likes to counter the punches, waiting for her to open up a defence and then attacks.
Yeah, so yeah, it's kind of a common tactic. Let your opponent open up and pick them off where they're weakest. And she tries a hook that goes flying over the head of Pearce. Both trying to gauge the distance between each other as Pearce goes in for attack. Taylor hits with a cross from the left here as the round is going to be closed out. Both fighters. Oh, it's a nice connection there by Pearce. Pearce goes in again with the left. Taylor returns with a right hook as Taylor's going into the clinch. Some kidney punches there as Pearce gets out, lands a left jab, tries a left jab there but misses. Thoughts so far in the second round?
It started off with Natasha Taylor on the front foot, but now it's become more balanced and Pearce is again controlling it, putting some good punches, but she's not getting the clear punches that Natasha Taylor is.
I think it's been a calm and collective fight by both boxers here. I think none of them really, even though at the start of the rounds they are going in for the kill, they're kind of standing off, they're being a bit tentative. But it's methodical, looking for the opponent to open up as the round finishes here. And Taylor misses with a jab, going into the clinch. Another Well, 2 jabs missed there by both fighters as the second round finishes. Ashton, your thoughts on that second round? Who do you think took that round most importantly? I mean, it was a very balanced round, but who do you think edged it?
I think Natasha Taylor definitely got the edge on that round. She got the more clean punches. She came out fighting from the start, which shook Jade Pearce. Didn't know what was kind of happening. But then Jade Pearce in the middle part of it came in again, started to dominate, got a few good punches, a few good jabs and hooks and combos in there. But then Natasha again had a very good final to that round.
Both the coaches again speaking to their boxers as they go into the last round, the last 2 minutes of this showcase bout. Again, it is not a varsity bout, it is a showcase bout. It's just for pride, but I tell you what, pride means a lot when you're in front of 2,000 people, the Octagon, doesn't it?
Yes, especially with half of Uni of here in the round, and she is Jade Pearce performing against the local rivals, even though the opponent isn't from Sheffield. It's definitely a big
I said before, when the boxing parade came out, Pearce was gleaming. She had the biggest smile on her face, and she needs to ride that, as I said before, as they come out here, a bit tentative. Pearce, as she goes in, Taylor tries with a jab, connects with one, misses the other, as Pearce goes in again, as Taylor catches her, as she goes in there, open up a weak spot. Taylor is counting, as she said before, and she's getting some points from it, as Pearce goes in for the clinch to try and stop Taylor's barrage of attacks. Referee comes in there. Nice start to round 3.
Yes, definitely. Pearce was up against the ropes there. She nicely got herself out with the clinch. I think that's a very good tactical clinch. And now they're both going at it very strongly. And it's, again, this round seems to be a lot more equal, but Pearce seems to be struggling a little bit.
I have to say, Pearce's footwork has been quite admirable tonight. She has been boxing Taylor into corners, but I tell you what, in counter to that, Taylor has been boxing herself out situations as Pearce gets near the ropes again in the clinch by Taylor. There's some kidney shots going there. Taylor's turned around Pearce to the ropes, but Pearce just skips out of it. Taylor against the ropes again as Pearce connects with a right jab and a left jab. In for the clinch again by Taylor. Referee's going to come in there, try and split them up. Taylor's been using the clinch quite a lot over the past 30 seconds. Is she a bit rocked by Pearce?
I think so. Pearce is again controlling it, again putting her into the corners, putting her up against the rings, and she's got 2 good cross punches to the face, a lovely combo, and now getting a few good uppercuts.
Tell you what, there's a bit of a weak clinch there by Taylor, allowed Pearce to get the uppercut in as she tries with a jab and connects to Pearce's right cheek. It's almost over this third round as Taylor tries again, doesn't connect as Pearce swings and misses with a left hook, but Taylor connects with a left jab there, and Pearce trying to counter that as Taylor just about sneaks another hook in as a clinch is initiated again by Pearce. So I think Taylor's come out in the past couple of seconds, turned the tide of the fight, and Pearce just needs to watch herself now. I think she was getting a bit ahead of herself.
Yeah, so far Pearce has had a good round, but just then I think she did get a bit ahead of herself, because now Taylor is coming back in with the good punches, and now you find Pearce up against the ropes, but once again she's got herself out of that position.
Tell you what, the strength shown there by Taylor. She forced Pearce against the ropes there. Pearce has seemed to tire. I mean, 6 minutes to keep your hands up is quite a long time. And I think Taylor is just about edging it on the fitness side as Pearce swings and misses the right hook. Taylor there, hit with 2 jabs, the left and the right, as Pearce tries to box her into a corner, but a clinch is initiated again. Taylor's using that clinch to great effect. She's nullifying any of Pearce's attacks. That must be frustrating for the boxer from University of Sheffield.
Oh, definitely. Taylor's definitely trying to use those clinches as a tactical move to give her that break, to allow her to stop the punch shots from Pearce. And now you find Taylor looking the stronger fighter, but that's it. That's the end of the game. Who do you think's won there?
I think Taylor's edged that third round, but I think the second round, the first 2 rounds, I couldn't edge them. It was a great finish there by Taylor and Pearce. They really tried to find the last ounce of energy to try and land some shots, get some points as the judges giving their scorecards. But I have to say, I think Pearce might have won this, if I'm not mistaken. I think the first 2 rounds must have gone in her favour, but you never know on the judges. Judges may have seen something different to us. What do you think, Ashton?
I think the first 2 rounds were very balanced, and then Pearce had a great start to the third one. She definitely dominated it, and then tied a little bit at the end, but I think she might have just pipped it here, and I wouldn't be surprised if she was the winner at here.
As a result, it's going to be announced here.
Let's do it for both ladies, please. And the winner of bout number 1 with a split decision, Jade Pearce in the red corner.
Jade Pearce takes it in her home turf. Must be excellent to hear those words come out finally, as the first bout of Varsity is over, the showcase bout. Jade Pearce takes a pride in some sportsmanship shown by both boxers there going over to the opposite rings. Very good boxing by both fighters, both great ladies, I have to say.
Yeah, definitely. It was a great fight, a great competitive fight. Went out from the start, didn't feel the distance, just went for it. Kept on punching, kept the game going, and just kept on going for it. It was a good fight, and I think it's a well-deserved win from Jade Pearce, but Natasha Taylor was very deserving
Admirable,
of
yeah.
a win
I mean,
if she did
both
win.
fighters did come out with trying to gun in the first couple of seconds, kind of stood off from each other, tried to methodically take out each other. Natasha Taylor went on the counter, trying to get to Pearce's weak side, but as we throw it back now to our presenters down on the floor.
Fantastic bout that was to start the night. Absolutely brilliant, wasn't it?
Honestly, it was so competitive. The control and just absolute display of class by both of those fighters.
Ultimately, though, Jade Pearce who came out on top.
She did. I didn't have her winning, actually. I had Taylor winning the fight. I thought she won the second and third rounds fairly clearly. I'm surprised by that. But this is something that the viewers at home should get exposed to. We often see very confusing decisions sometimes at amateur boxing. I know from my past experience of doing this Varsity event that sometimes I disagree with them massively, but the judges are, they are the experts, so we have to go with them. And the second round was closer. The third round I think was clearer, but she definitely won the first round as well. So yeah, Pearce doing very well, and first win for the University of Sheffield. We're building momentum.
Absolutely. Did that surprise you as well, Adam, the result?
No, I feel like obviously the split decision does tell a lot, not being unanimous. But I feel like Pearce definitely just commanded the first round with her ring control, and just her technique, her footwork was impeccable.
But Taylor brought things to the fight as well, didn't she? What did she bring?
I think her clinch work, as the commentator said before, just so good, her clinch work. Just coming in and coming with a hook as well. And yeah, just be able to close in that distance was a massive part, and her combos were very, very good.
As Ollie said, though, it is all about momentum, and Younis of Sheffield have got some now.
Yeah, I know. That'll be definitely a massive, massive pump to the fans as well.
Yeah, obviously this is not a varsity bout, but it still matters, doesn't it, for the crowd, for the atmosphere?
Honestly, yeah, because obviously the boxers will feel that, like, yes, we can definitely do this. They'll be in the dressing rooms thinking, yeah, we've got this now. Is
Taylor justified in feeling a little bit unhappy with the decision of the judges, do you think?
No, I feel like she did well, but I feel like the first round was probably what decided it.
Okay, we are going to head over to bout number 3 now. Johnny Callan versus Connor Quinlan.
Representing Sheffield Hallam, Connor Quinlan.
This second bout here at Varsity. It's around the Octagon Centre. I'm Joe Killingley. I'm joined with Will Simpson, who's our in-house resident expert.
Yeah, if you can call me that, yeah, let's go for it.
So you fought on one of these cards 2 years ago for the Yorkshire belt, is that right?
Yes, I did. I was a supporting bout for the show, and I faced a young lad called Callan Simpson. It was a good match.
Well, it's a pleasure to be alongside you here. I've got to comment on the atmosphere. It really is electric. How do you think this will affect the fighters?
Well, in all honesty, you just can't beat the atmosphere at the Varsity for boxing. These guys are going to be buzzing off of it. The more each crowd will be combatant, you know, it's going to be a battle to see who's cheering louder, and it's just going to push these guys even harder. It's going to be great.
Representing Sheffield University, Callan.
So we have Callan in the traditional black and gold at the University of Sheffield.
Representing Sheffield, Hallam,
Quinlan, of course, in the white and purple.
The referee, Mr. Gentiva.
See, good thing we got here. It's not first time, as these guys have both been in before. It's going to be an interesting fight. I've seen them in the gym. They both know what they're doing.
How do you think this will play on their minds, the fact that they have been training together and that they know each other well?
Yeah, that can always psych you out a bit. I've faced with people that I've sparred before. It's an interesting one, but at the end of the day, once you get into that ring, you've just got to push that all to one side and just realise there's an opponent in front of you. You've got to get on with your job.
Well, here we are, straight off, and very, very nice by Callan. Immediately, Quinlan's replied.
Yeah, very good. Very nice, energetic start there. Callan is using that jab very well, but Quinlan is pushing back very strong.
It already looks like Callan's had taken quite a couple of shots there, straight down the middle. Quinlan with a very nice hook there.
He's looking a bit pink-faced, isn't he, there? But at the moment, it's going to be a big battle to see who can take the centre of the ring. You know, they're going to keep pushing each other, but at the moment, Connor just seems to be a little bit on the back foot, but he's landing some decent shots.
It looks like he's trying to catch Callan on the way out.
Yeah, that was a good backhand there.
Very nice slip there from Callan. Man in the middle, just resetting it, letting them start again.
They're both tasting each other's shots now. They're getting a bit of hesitation. Just got to get the shots flowing again.
And here we are. It's Callan. They're still just sort of gauging distance, gauging each other. There was that early flurry, but they seem to have backed off a little since then.
Yeah, they've both come out, they've both shown what they've got and they've tested each other's mettle, but now it's becoming a bit more of a chess match now. They're going to think about what they're doing a bit more. At the end of the day, it is only the first round. They don't want to wear themselves out too soon.
And just for the people who maybe aren't so familiar with boxing, the jab being so pivotal, what is the importance of having the good jab and being able to use it well, as we see Callan pushing on some pressure?
Well, you know, you're looking at any textbook, it'll tell you the jab's all about gauging that distance, and more so, it sets up the next shot every time. That was a beautiful little combination there. Perler of a shot from Connor.
Yes, Callan's
but
well.
Thing is, you can see the hesitation there. He's landed a good combination and he's pushed Callan back, but he's taken that step back and he's stopped. He should have kept going forward there.
And there we have that first round come to an end. How do we think, who do we think came up on top in that one?
Give that one to Blue. I think that was a very strong start from both guys, but he was landing just a few more significant shots, and that little flurry at the end just was the little tilter for me.
Those first punches really, really important for gaining confidence, I suppose.
Absolutely, you know, it works both ways. You get hit by something, you're going to get knocked. If you land something, you're going to start feeling really good about yourself. You know, it's as much a mental game as it is a physical game, this.
And in terms of training for these lads, a lot's been made recently about how boxers train going into bouts, whether sparring could be too heavy and the potential concussion issues. How have these lads approached these bouts tonight?
Well, Brendan, the coach at Sheffield City Boxing Club, he trains most of the fighters, well, the boxers for both Hallam and the Uni of, and he tends to focus a lot more on condition sparring. So we'll go in and we'll just set ourselves little conditions, like one person's going to lead with a single punch, the other person is going to try and defend and retaliate. Again, a backhand there from Connor. He's landing that very well at the moment. If he can start to follow it up, he may be on the verge of getting himself a stoppage. It's
a really nice opening exchange here, but it's definitely Quinlan who's looking on the front foot so far.
Yeah, he's doing quite well. He's taking his time as well. Last year when I watched him box even, he did tend to blow himself out a bit, and that was a telling tale later in the fight. In the match, he did really well for himself, and then he just gassed out in the end, unfortunately. But he's conserving himself and he's using his shots when he needs to, not just because he feels like he has to.
He's really finding his power punches now. That cross and hook really coming well for him.
Yeah, and he's keeping his distance well as well. Callan's trying to get in with a few combinations, but he's got to work him more. He's got to start forcing the pace a little, because at the moment he's behind and he's just not doing enough to tilt it back in his favour.
He's looking quite static when the boxers aren't engaging. Can he be trying to lure him into that corner and apply the pressure more?
Yeah, what he wants to... Are we on about Callan here? He wants to be just taking that slow inch forward. He wants to keep that guard tight, because he's getting caught every time he starts to exchange. You can see he throws one punch, both hands are down. He's not guarding his head anymore. He needs to keep it tight and push Connor back into that corner where he's got nowhere to run around, and then start bringing in the body shots and then mixing it up to the head.
Quinlan certainly having a lot of success once Callan has thrown these shots. Really nice exchange there.
Yeah, so he landed a good left hook backhand, took a step back. Callan tried to dominate on him there, but he caught him with another backhand and circled around, and as you can see, he's got all this space left in the ring now. Another beautiful backhand. He's doing really well with this shot.
He's doing really well at making Callan miss as we come to the end of this second round. Do you have that as 2-0 for Quinlan?
I do. It's I wouldn't say a one-sided bout, but in terms of scoring, Quinlan is definitely, it's all going his way at the moment. There needs to be a strong round from Callan.
And what will the judges be looking at the most should this go the whole distance?
Well, there's control of the ring, there's going to be the aggression along with the boxing. Some person can go in there and he can throw 1,000 shots and he can still lose the round if the person he's going towards is just taking that calm approach, just landing the shots that count and then getting himself out of danger. If nothing's landing, then it doesn't matter how many you throw, you've got to control what you're using.
Excellent. And if you were in Quinlan's corner now, what would your advice be? He seems to be up on the scorecard. Would you push for a knockout, or do you have to conserve energy?
No. After last year's performance, I'd be telling him to stick to what he's doing. Keep using that jab, and when the opportunity's there, throw that backhand, because it's working for him. He's scoring really well with it. He doesn't have to risk anything right now. He can win this round easy, just boxing the way he has been.
Well, again, straight into the centre of the ring, trying to gain control.
See, this is the problem with Callan. He threw that backhand there, both hands were down at his chest. He needs to keep it high. He's doing good, he's coming forward now and he's throwing a higher volume of shots, but he keeps getting caught by Quinlan's... See, there it was. There we go, and there's the standing count. It was a good shot.
But as you were saying, as he throws those punches, Callan, his hands do drop and he's not getting them back. He's not getting his guard back quick enough.
Exactly, and if he doesn't smarten up here, this could be potentially coming towards the end of the match here a bit early. But I'm not saying anything bad about him because he's done really well, but he's got to work on these little things when it comes to your technique.
That was certainly a lot better there from Callan.
He's throwing it all to the wind a bit. He's going for it now, but he's got to get that guard up, because if that backhand lands again, he might not be so lucky if the ref has to count him again.
Well, we would have thought he'd need something special if he's going to get a point here for the University of Sheffield, but you do never know. It only takes one shot. A very nice head movement there from Quinlan. He's been very elusive tonight.
Callan needs to start pumping that jab out a bit more. Got a good 1-2 in there. But this is it. This is what we're looking at. We're in our last 40 seconds of the round. We've got to come in a bit stronger now. We've just got to give it everything. In all fairness, I think the only thing that would win it for him right now is a couple standing counts or a stoppage.
This is where the training really comes in, these final few rounds of the last, the final few seconds of the last round.
Yeah. Good backhand again from Connor. He's taken a real mature approach to this bout. He hasn't overexerted himself. He's been using the shots that count. I'm really impressed with his boxing in this bout.
And especially how calm he looks and measured and in control.
That's one of the biggest things. When you get into these matches, anxiety is everywhere, and that zaps more energy than most.
This is a really late and really nice flurry from Callan. Possibly too little, too late. We'll go over to the judges now, but really, really great bout.
You can call me silly if I'm wrong, but it was definitely a win there for Blue Corner. Great performance from both. Callan has got a few things to work on, but he's been here before. He's done really well for himself, and I look forward to seeing him again next year.
I'd certainly agree with that. He looked calm and composed in there, especially seeing as the majority in here seem to be from the uni of. He's coped really well with the pressure that the fans are putting on.
At the end of the day, there's nothing to be ashamed of when you get in that ring. These lads have done really well for themselves and the uni. You know, they can both walk away with their heads held high.
Incredible.
Ladies and gentlemen, the results of round number 2. Your winner by a split decision, Conor Quinlan in the blue corner.
Very surprising that we went to a split decision there.
I was quite surprised. I was very confident in blue corner winning that, but at the end of the day, we've only got a certain view from here. Judges can see different things where they are. That's why they're dotted around the ring. Again, solid performance from both of them. They've done really well for themselves.
Very true. Very true.
And here we have Jordan, the Thrill Gill.
His unbeaten featherweight prospect, currently training out of the Eagle Gym, is unbeaten in 19 professional contests. He'll be presenting the medals to the boxers this evening.
Okay.
Thank you very much, lads.
Will, it's been a pleasure. We're going to pass it back down to the team ringside now.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
What another brilliant bout that was this evening. Success then for Conor Quinlan, but we are today joined by the victorious boxer from the first fight. It is Jade Pearce. Huge congratulations, Jade. How are you feeling?
All right.
Why did you come out on top? What gave you the edge tonight?
Work rate. My punch rate's higher than hers, which obviously meant more shots were landed.
You've got another fight Saturday as well. How are you going to prepare for that?
Going now, cool down and get some protein, then rest tomorrow, and then fight again Saturday. But Saturday's for the national championships, so it's a bit more intense than this.
What's the atmosphere like there?
This is the biggest atmosphere I've ever boxed in, even including like elite championships. There's more people, and it's louder here than it is in ABS, which is quite mad thinking about it.
Well, thank you very much for coming on, and best of luck.
Thank
for
you,
Saturday
Jade. Congratulations, huge congratulations. Ultimately, it was Hallam who came out on top in that bout there. Why, Adam? Why?
I thought it was just like Quinlan's, like especially when his hands dropped, it was just like bang, bang. His hooks were so effective, especially in the first round. I think he won it quite confidently.
Right. We are heading for bout number 4 now.
Female varsity bout after we had the showcase where we had the female weight and a split decision. So tonight we have Alex Fraser versus Charlotte Pritchard, Alex of Younis and Charlotte of Hallam. Bit about the Younis fighter. She is 22, weighing at 62 kilograms, 5'1", and had no previous fights. Can you tell us a bit about Charlotte, Matt?
Yeah, Charlotte Pritchard is 20. She is at 62.5 kilograms at 5 foot. This is her first ever bout, and she studies biomedical science at Sheffield Hallam. Sheffield Hallam are 1-0 up after winning the first official varsity fight. Conor Quinlan winning the split decision in the first fight, official varsity fight of the night. Tor, how do you think this fight will end up?
I don't know. We don't want both first fight for Varsity. We'll see it, but the most exciting bit is it's the first female varsity bout, so it's good to see that them equality in this sense, and it was good to see the fight. So we'll see what it gets to the first round.
Indeed, Alexandra Fraser, representing the University of Sheffield, is the favourite to win. The strong favourite has been touted by people. Charlotte Pritchard is the underdog as we just await for the boxers to shake the referee's hands just before the fight will begin and give a pre-match talk to keep the fight clean. Looking at the last fight we saw that Conor Quinlan had a key moment in the fight where he got a right hook straight onto Johnny Callan, and he was quite dazed for a few moments.
But I respected that because he came back into it. He did put a lot of. It showed the spirit and how much they have trained for this and how much the varsity bouts do mean to them. So we're just starting off now. The referee touching gloves, and they're going back to the corners. We've got Alex Fraser in the red corner and Charlotte Pritchard in blue corner. Fight starting off.
These will be 3 rounds of 2 minutes, just waiting for the bell. Alex Fraser fighting out of the red corner, Charlotte Pritchard out of the blue corner for Sheffield Hallam University, and Alexandra Fraser with an early jab shot there, straight into the head. The guard again, another good hook shot by Alexandra Fraser. Looking at it, Tor, Charlotte Pritchard's lacking a bit of a guard so far in the first moments of the fight.
Yeah, Alex Fraser's gone straight into it. There's not much guard there going. Still, they're not going much at it. And then we've got Alex Fraser going at it now. Some good right hook there. Oh,
turned her around there. Turned Charlotte Pritchard around. The referee already having a word with Charlotte Pritchard there. Alex Fraser certainly on top, as we expected she would be, representing the University of Sheffield. Again, the guard is lowered by Charlotte Pritchard, and Fraser looking to counter that with some more good jab shots and cross shots so far.
Yes, it looks like basically she's trying as many shots as she can, and even from body shots to put her guard down and then see as many hooks to the right hooks to the face as possible.
A good right hook there from Alex Fraser, just knocking Charlotte Pritchard off her stride for a moment.
A good undercut there.
She definitely has control of the bout as it stands at the minute.
Some count here just to see if she can carry on in the fight, and now she's done count to 7, and the fight's going to continue.
Just waiting for the referee to see if she can, Pritchard can hold her guard up. She has done that, but she has taken a fair few blows so far from Alex Fraser, who is definitely on top in the first ever female varsity event, and she is looking to take complete control of the bout there, and the fight is over. The fight is over already. Alex Fraser immediately strikes back for the University of Sheffield. Charlotte Pritchard was no match in that bout for Alexandra Fraser, and it will now be 1-1.
It looked too easy for Alex Fraser. She knew what she was doing, she knew the combination she needed, and Charlotte Pritchard, she just looked like, no match really.
She definitely didn't have her guard up. Maybe Alex Fraser was just in another league compared to her opponent there. But well done to Alex Fraser. She has just won the first ever female varsity match for the University of Sheffield, so she'll go down in the notebooks of history.
And that now makes it 1-1 to Younis versus Hallam as we carry on the bouts. And
the results of round number 3, the referee having stopped the contest. Your winner, Alex Fraser in the red corner.
Alex Fraser there, announced as the winner of the first ever female varsity match. It's the University of Sheffield 1, Sheffield Hallam University 1 in 2 official varsity bouts we've had so far tonight. Bigger and better things could go on for Alexandra Fraser now. We're going to throw back to our pundits for today's boxing varsity, and thank you and wait for the next fight to begin.
Well, that was our first ever female varsity bout, and it was an absolute cracker. And Sheffield University coming out on top. Alex Fraser.
Alex Fraser, what a great performance from her.
Here's your mic on there.
There we go.
There we go. We can hear you.
And it's a great performance from Fraser. Clearly dominated the proceedings, and it just showed in the fight, really.
Why did Fraser dominate so easily?
It's hard to tell exactly why. There's obviously a combination of factors. Like, I think her technique was probably better as well. It really served her well. And I think she was just it felt like she was going to win for a while out. I'm just going to try and grab her for an interview.
All right, you go. But the first ever female varsity bout, that's a fantastic message to send, isn't it? What an absolutely fantastic start to what will hopefully carry on.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great start to varsity event, and it's just can't wait for even more amazing fights.
And we are joined now. How did you feel that went?
I was so nervous. I've been nervous for weeks. I wanted more, but she's absolutely lovely. She's a lovely girl. I train with her, and I wouldn't want to be with anyone else in that situation. And I know she's good because she knows she can go longer, and she is a good fighter. So I don't really know what to say in this situation. I didn't expect to win, let alone that.
Well, go and enjoy it. Congratulations.
Huge
Have
congratulations.
a great night.
Huge congratulations, well done.
Thank you.
Well done to Alex Fraser there. And in bout 5, we have got Anthony O'Dowd of Sheffield University and Hashim Younis of Sheffield Hallam, an economics student versus a computer science student, 6 foot tall. Hashim Younis, this should be good, I think.
I know you're 6 foot tall, you know they definitely have that reach to definitely mix some power punches.
Who are we expecting to win, Ollie? Who do you think are going to
It's so hard to tell. But Hallam obviously 2-0 up now. So they've got the momentum, and the pressure really is on Younis to start turning this around. You don't want to let the gap get too big. We only have 9 fights now, so if it gets towards 3 or 4, then they only really need to win 1 or 2 left, and it's kind of going to get easier and easier for Hallam.
So it's all about that momentum again, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely that momentum. Just definitely, even in the minds of the fighters, you know, like it's especially because if you're going through a certain mindset, seeing all different performance will definitely affect you mentally.
Absolutely. Well, this one should be good. Just going back to the last bout, Charlotte Pritchard, she did bring things to the fight, didn't she? I mean,
yeah, absolutely. I think we're going to see a couple of those tonight. You will get a couple of stoppages. Those guys obviously train together, so.
How disappointing is that?
Yeah, it is a bit weird, but like it was great to see like the sportsmanship after. She was clearly, you know, although kind of slightly conflicted about, you know, having to box her teammate, but she's obviously so happy that it's great for her that she's got that victory. I'm sure it'll mean an awful lot after having trained for so long.
Yeah, because the atmosphere in here tonight is absolutely electric, and that really makes a difference, doesn't it?
Honestly, yeah, because I remember all the other boxers talking about it as well.
Right, here is bout number 4.
Anthony O'Dowd. Welcome his opponent, representing Sheffield Hallam, Hashim Younis.
Varsity Boxing, we have Anthony O'Dowd in the red corner for the University of Sheffield. He's 72 kilograms, 5'10", age 21, and this is his first bout so far. His opponent in the blue corner is Hashim Younis, 69 kilograms, 6 foot tall, 19 years old, and this is also his first bout.
O'Dowd studying economics for the University of Sheffield and representing Hallam. Younis is studying computer science.
Should be a tightly contested fight.
Both competitors, like Dan said, making their debuts.
Hashim just having a word with the officials there. Hashim's just having some trouble getting ready, but we should be ready to go shortly. Right, now they're ready. Referee's just having a word with both of the boxers.
O'Dowd looks calm and collected in the red corner. He looks up for it, as does Hashim, representing Hallam.
Yeah, they're slightly off in their weights and sizes, but that shouldn't be too much of a problem. Hashim is a little bit taller than O'Dowd, but there's 3 kilograms between them the opposite way, so it should even out nicely.
The home crowd firmly behind O'Dowd. Lots of cheers coming from the Octagon.
Hallam always have a good crowd though. Let's see what this reaction is. There we go.
A fairly big cheer for Hashim as well. Quite a hostile home crowd as well.
Good atmosphere here in the Octagon.
Your referee, Mr. Kevin Hillbilly Burton.
Referee just having final words. They touch gloves, go back to their corners. Both fighters are ready. Look like we've got 2 orthodox stances. Leading with their left arm. It's a brutal start.
Both competitors going for it.
Oh,
it's a great
Dowd
hit.
is down. Already. Younis is looking confident.
It's a good shot from Younis.
Crowd's behind him. Referee starts the 8-second countdown.
O'Dowd's just going to have to collect himself now.
They're back in. Looks like Younis is more of an outside fighter, keeping his opponent away. He goes for that big jab, and again. O'Dowd's just settling into the match now. Both fighters seem to have a slightly weak defence. A lot of punches are going in. What do you think about that, Alan?
I think their defence isn't obviously as good as their attack. Younis is firmly trying to get a quick attack on. Lots of jabs going in early on.
Younis seems to be the stronger fighter, but O'Dowd's getting some good shots in there. Seems as if Younis needs to get his guard up a little bit more than he is.
Yeah, Younis going for the jabs, but he's exposing himself with a lack of guard.
They're going for the clinch just to settle things down. Seems like O'Dowd's on the front foot now.
Yeah, it's even itself out after a fiery start from Younis.
Younis is on the ropes. He's fighting back.
Younis once against the ropes.
Both bouters are really going for it now. That's round 1.
Very hostile crowd here at Octagon.
I think the crowd's booing because O'Dowd threw in a punch after the ding of the first round. Younis' coach there just seems to be telling him to calm down a little bit. O'Dowd seems to be calm and collected, getting some water.
A lot of energy going through Younis. I think he needs to be more collected in the second round, but he's got off to a fairly good start.
Yeah, we've seen from that first round that Younis can throw a good shot. He had full leverage in his arm and knocked down O'Dowd, but I think his guard is just a little bit weak. He needs to step that up.
Leaving himself exposed at times.
He's trying to be an outside fighter. He's trying to stay away from the other opponent, but the other opponent's an inside fighter, so he's just getting too close to him, and his guard's just not good enough. He's trying to lean back, but his size isn't that much more, so it's a bit of a problem for him.
O'Dowd's guard seems to be better of the two. Younis again in his defence needs to improve.
O'Dowd definitely has got the upper hand now. Younis just trying to back away from him, trying to get in a big punch where he can.
more defensive style from Younis in the second round. Once again, his guard doesn't seem to be there at all.
O'Dowd seems to be throwing a lot of punches with his left arm, little jabs with his leading arm, which is causing Younis some trouble. Usually with the taller fights, they like to lean back. Oh, here we go.
Younis was against the ropes briefly there.
Bit of a rabbit punch there from O'Dowd to the back of Younis's head. Crowd shouting cheat. They go for it again.
Very tense bout so far.
Younis throwing in some nice shots. Referee just splitting it up. O'Dowd keeps leading with that left hand.
Younis looking very heavy-handed here.
Both fighters seem to be tired. Oh, Younis is wobbly. Ref splits it up. He's counting down. Giving Younis time to compose himself.
O'Dowd with the advantage so far.
O'Dowd looking more composed of the two.
Certainly calmer, more strategic.
He's forcing Younis to go back against the ropes, and Younis looks really wobbly, and that's round 2.
Again and again, O'Dowd has forced Younis against the ropes. Younis got off to a very good start in the first round, however, since then O'Dowd has seemed the most composed out of the two competitors.
Again, Younis's manager just telling him to calm down a bit. Take some deep breaths, get back in the game, just stay away from him a little bit more. But because Younis has this approach where he tries to stay away from the fighter, he's running around the ring a little bit more, so he's running out of energy more than O'Dowd is. So O'Dowd's throwing in more punches because he's getting more energy from probably being still a bit more. So it's an evenly tested game so far. It will be very interesting to see what the last round holds.
Younis initially tried to throw in a few hooks, however, in the latter round, O'Dowd seemed to have his defence a lot better and has managed to get quite a few jabs in.
Younis is still looking tired after that break.
Still very heavy-handed.
Younis trying to back off again there, but he's getting jabbed.
Younis does have that height advantage, however, it seems that O'Dowd is firmly in control here.
O'Dowd seems to have more composure and more strategy to his fighting, throwing in some feint punches, but
Younis briefly was up against the ropes. He seems to have recovered a bit, though. O'Dowd has him again. Very good guard for O'Dowd.
Oh, Younis getting hit there again. Another rabbit punch from O'Dowd.
O'Dowd needs to watch some of his punches.
Referee's just counting down again, giving him time to compose himself.
O'Dowd in the corner, getting up his energy levels again. Once again, going back into it, so O'Dowd who puts his guard up first and who remains with his guard up throughout.
Tries to nab a rabbit punch there. Leading with that left jab, throws a right punch.
Strong jabs from O'Dowd.
Both fighters are very direct in their punching. There doesn't seem to be any hooks or uppercuts. Oh, there's one. Referee separates it again. Oh, Younis just trying to get out of the way.
Younis
taking some big punches there.
Younis
oh, there's another.
Well
He's got him up against the ropes.
Both competitors having their guard down there briefly for a second.
O'Dowd throwing in the majority of the strong hits. And that's round 3. In the end, that seemed to be a little bit one-sided in favour of O'Dowd. Younis just went in too hard and too fast at the beginning. Run out of energy, tried to be an outside fighter. Tried to stay away from his opponent, but O'Dowd just got the better of him in the end, I think.
O'Dowd's strategy has been better throughout. He's remained composed. He's got his technique in, and he's been punishing Younis with those jabs.
The University of Sheffield fans seem to be happy with that. More so than the Hallam fans, and that's understandable. We just get a confirmation.
Ladies and gentlemen, the results of round number 4. Your winner by a unanimous decision, Anthony O'Dowd in the red corner.
It's a good win for the University of Sheffield.
O'Dowd takes it as expected. Very good bout.
The bout could have gone any way. It's hard to know when it's their first fight, but yeah, O'Dowd's had a good 3 rounds there.
Recovered very well.
Yeah, Younis not so much. Okay, we're just going to hand over to the pundits now, down near the ringside.
Just interestingly, Younis started really well. Was that his downfall? Did he start too quickly?
I think the massive knockdown from Younis was just like, I thought, wow, it's going to be decided like this. But then I feel like O'Dowd just came back up for second and third and just dominated throughout.
Yeah. And that takes real resilience from O'Dowd, doesn't it? Because he was struggling to begin with.
Yeah, and I think his footwork and his more aggressive game plan definitely helped him out.
And look, he's here now. Huge congratulations. How are you feeling?
Thank you very much. Really good, yeah. Amazing fight.
You obviously got knocked down in the first. Yeah. How are you feeling after that?
Fine, it didn't really faze me. I knew it was just a fluke, and I knew I could get back, so it didn't faze me.
So obviously after that you got 2 standing out counts against him, and you kind of really came back in a brilliant way. Were you always confident even after that kind of first round shot? You weren't bothered by it at all?
I knew I had good people in the ring. I knew they were giving me good advice, so I knew it'd be all right.
So kind of, were you kind of really confident beforehand, or were you nervous? How are you feeling?
Obviously really nervous going into it. When I got in the ring, I felt a lot better. I had a lot of people supporting me, and that helped a lot.
I saw you celebrating there as soon as it was announced that you win. You looked absolutely ecstatic. How does it feel to win?
Well, I've been training for it for a long time. We've been working on it like 5-6 times a week for a long time, so it's good to get it.
Were you confident in the decision? Were you confident with the decision?
Yeah, definitely.
Well done. Congratulations, and best of luck.
Huge congratulations. Well done. Slightly not harsh on Younis, but disappointing for him considering he started so well, Ollie.
Yeah, what an incredible bout. You know, that huge knockdown in the first round was surprising. Everybody went crazy. But after that, he boxed so well to come back into the fight. And then he got 2 standing out counts against the University of Sheffield Hallam boxer. And he really showed like what an example to everybody else that you can get knocked down in the first, but you can win the fight overall. What a terrific.
Just how difficult is that to do, to literally get back up again when you're really struggling?
I've never been knocked down. Adam, have you been knocked down?
I never get knocked out. I never get knocked out.
Yeah, so I imagine it's incredibly difficult. Although he was very confident on camera, undoubtedly, things are going to start going through your mind at that point. But straight away, as soon as he got back up, he was very composed. I was surprised. I thought, okay, this fight's going to get over quickly. It's not going to go the distance. But yeah, I was really impressed. Often in the past, if we've seen knockdowns, that's normally it. But in this bout, it wasn't absolutely the case, and he did really well. I'm so impressed.
All right, bout number 5 then this evening is Matthias Talbot of Younis of Sheffield and Fraser Hamilton of Sheffield Hallam. 6-foot politics student takes on 6-foot nutrition, diet and lifestyle student. That is going to be good, yes?
It's literally the battle of the giants, and I can't wait for those power punches, those hooks. I just can't. It's going to be so exciting.
Adam likes bigger fighters because it's kind of the opposite of him.
Exactly. I can't believe it.
Obviously, it's a bigger weight class. We've seen kind of variation today. We've seen obviously some of the smaller female fighters, and these guys, they were kind of in the middle ranges. Now we're getting the big guys, and obviously, they tend to say that the bigger boxers, they do hit harder. So maybe we'll see some really nice kind of cross rights and cross lefts, depending if they're orthodox or southpaw, depending on how they fight. But yeah, this is going to be another terrific bout. And now that we've gone to 2-1, it's really halted the momentum of Hallam, and it's also a very crucial score.
What does that do to the atmosphere in here, do you think? 2-1?
Well, did you not hear it? It went absolutely crazy when University just got that point there, because it was a decision, nobody knew how it was going to go, and now everybody's kind of back up their spirits. I think if that had gone the other way, then everybody may have been slightly down for the moment. But that was I can't tell you how important that was for the entire evening.
And is this a crucial one for Hallam, Adam?
Yeah, I feel like just the composure of all the fighters have been very good, and their defensive and attacking game plan have been solid through their footwork, through their technique has been outstanding.
Because he was caught by that uppercut, obviously, in the first round, and then but he did very well to kind of really stay composed. He's tried to stay behind his jab more before. The Hallam fighter was much more wild. Obviously, they were both slightly wilder towards the end of the fight. They were really both looking for the knockout. But both boxers were incredible. You know, I think it takes a lot of spirit to have those kind of standing 8 counts against you, to get knocked down, to kind of persevere. And I think both of them deserve a lot of credit tonight. But yeah, this next fight is going to be hopefully even more exciting. I don't think you can get more exciting.
I can't say it any more exciting. Looking ahead to this next one then, who comes out on top?
I think it'll be a very close fight, like all the others have been, and I'm just looking forward for the heavy hits.
Ollie?
Yeah, I think pay attention to who starts to kind of take the center of the ring early. I think at amateur boxing, it does pay to have kind of be on the front foot. Some people often say that you want to maybe counter-attack, you want to fight on, you want to box on the back foot, pardon me. But I think that in amateur boxing, it tends to normally pay to do the opposite. Sometimes later in the rounds, it gets a bit more sloppy. You might notice that as they get more and more tired, they tend to come out a bit more fiery at the start. So yeah, pay attention to who kind of takes control of the ring straight away. And I think that would be a good indication who will win the fight.
But that didn't necessarily work for Younis in the last bout.
Yeah, I think it was just like his defensive game. He would run away from the punches, very defensive, just backing away, and it was always at the end of his punches. Like, you can't escape that. And even if he went forward, back, he was on the ropes. You can't have nowhere to go.
All right, well, here it is. Let's head over.
University, Matthias Talbot.
This year, fucking she broke to the door. Tell me don't waste my time. Police won't stop me, search my code. Tell me don't waste my time. If it ain't money, I ain't involved. Tell me don't waste my time. Waste my nothing down my phone. Tell me don't waste my time. No, no, no. Tell me don't waste my time. 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 No, no, no. Tell me don't waste my time.
And if you can also welcome his opponent, representing Sheffield Hallam, Fraser Hamilton.
Number 5, the one just before the interval. This is on a knife edge tonight. The University of Sheffield currently lead 2-1 in the overall standings. Matthias Talbot takes on Fraser Hamilton. Just 3 kilograms between them, the same height, both competing for the first time in varsity. Alongside me, Will Simpson. Will, what can we expect from this bout?
Well, it's going to be an interesting one, man. I've seen both these guys training in the gym. They've both come in, they've said they want to box, and they've worked really hard. They've developed the skills, and tonight they get to put it to the test. So I'm looking forward to seeing how it plays out.
Well, here we go. The University of Sheffield currently lead 2-1. Bout number 5.
Introducing in the red corner.
In the red corner, Matthias Talbot. Politics student, 21 years of age. Not a lot of experience on a stage like this, but he will get a chance to prove himself tonight. Likewise, in the blue corner, Fraser Hamilton, 23, just 2 years older. Both of these guys still in their early years in terms of boxing experience. And Will, how will that age difference pan out, do you think?
Well, age, when you're the same size and you're the same weight and everything, the only thing that age can bring into a factor is if you're more developed, like, you can be a bit stronger when you're a bit older, but there's not a massive difference between these guys. They're both grown men, and they're both going to be fairly evenly matched, I think.
Final bout before the interval. Talbot in the red corner, Hamilton in the blue corner, and here we go. It is a fast start from Hamilton there. A right jab misses, left jab there misses. Talbot gets behind him, both imposing themselves in the middle of the ring, looking for that territory to land the punch. A left jab from Talbot there again, but that was missed. A very, very good left jab there from Hamilton. Talbot took that well.
Talbot just wants to get that guard up a bit higher. He's been caught by 2 clean jabs, and he's going in, he's swinging, but the guard's just going down to his chest, and that's why he's getting caught.
Hamilton, the one having the greater reach so far. Just working out Talbot here. Talbot eager-eyed on him, though.
Good backhand there. Doesn't want to be backing off.
Hamilton. And Talbot's down. Talbot's down. What a shot from Hamilton there. The right hook came in. Talbot took it well. Gets the count from the referee.
This might be the end. Let's have a quick close look. Nah.
Well, Talbot's pleading with the referee, which gives us the indication that it's over immediately. Well, that is as conclusive as you will get in a boxing bout. Fraser Hamilton, an unbelievably effective right hook, taking Matthias Talbot to the down so early on in the first round. Talbot incandescent with the referee there. Well, what do you think about that?
No, you can see that he's unhappy, but at the end of the day, you got hit, you went down, your legs were gone from underneath you. The referee could have let it go on, and if it happened again, you don't know what's going to happen from there. The referee has to take your safety into consideration. This is a sport. It's not a battle to the death. You know, you've done really well getting in there. You can learn from this and you can come back from it.
Well, that means it's currently University of Sheffield 2, Sheffield Hallam 2 as we go into the interval. Fraser Hamilton, the winner there by TKO.
The referee having stopped the contest, your winner, Fraser Hamilton in the blue corner.
Well, there we go. Fraser Hamilton wins that boxing bout, the quickest win of the night so far. And, well, how does that set it up for the bouts after the interval?
Well, obviously it's all to play for now, and both Younis are going to be just raring to go. It's going to be a really good night from here on out. Not that it hasn't been already, but it's all to play for now.
Well, Talbot did start that bout quite well, but Hamilton, it was the effectiveness of the territory in the middle of the ring, and then obviously that effective right hook.
Yep, so no, it was a great bout, and we'll be passing down to the guys downstairs now. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, there'll be a short interval now.
Wow, well, that finished slightly earlier than we expected, that bout. What a performance from Fraser Hamilton.
Honestly, I was shocked. I was like, you look one way, look back, and it's over. You just can't believe it. It's crazy.
We were all the way over the other side of the octagon.
Yeah.
We had to run. Really disappointing for Matthias Talbot, though.
I know, yeah, it must be disappointing for him. You think, you know, going into it thinking you go for the whole three and just doesn't go your way.
Well, here he is. Huge, huge, huge congratulations. Finished a bit earlier than we expected. How are you feeling?
Yeah, amazing, mate. When he's out there, can't complain when he's out there. I wanted it to, so yeah, positive.
You can't have expected that in your wildest dreams, can you?
No. I was worried that I was going to gas out in the third round, but obviously, glad I didn't have to worry about that.
Did you think he was coming back from that after you hit him? Did you think he was coming back from that after that, you know, that caught him?
Yeah, I thought so, to be fair. I don't know. Referee called it, so.
So were you nervous beforehand, or how are you feeling?
Absolutely bricking it, mate, to be honest. But yeah, feeling amazing now.
Well done. Enjoy the rest of your night and go celebrate.
Cheers, buddy.
Well
Thank you very
done.
much.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so, you know, one exciting last few bouts, you know, it doesn't get any better than that. I've been telling people all day, some people said that last year there wasn't as much action, but I'm telling you, this year I think they're bringing it, and, you know, it's all level now, and it's going to be very interesting for the rest of the night.
Because, Adam, you were saying this was crucial for Hallam to bring back. They've done that now. That's important going into the remaining bouts, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. You'll know the atmosphere's definitely changed. Hallam definitely louder and more confident as well. And like I said before, the heavier weights definitely bringing the power, as you can see in the last bout.
And the emphasis switches now back to the Union, isn't it?
Well, yeah, you know, you're level now, so, but you know, you've got the momentum of 2 wins in a row, so that is huge. And pardon me, not 2 wins in a row, it's one piece. Yeah, so it's very even at the moment, but I don't know. It's hard to kind of take that much momentum from that one. That was such kind of, in amateur boxing, no one is expecting that. I think it's the more momentum building fight was the previous one, the one before that one, where, you know, you're going to have to go for a comeback. But I think it's going to really make sure the fighters know that anything can happen. They can't be resting on their laurels. And I think after we saw one fighter recover from a knockdown in bout 3, in bout 4, you know, that knockdown was the end of the fight. And I think it was obviously the right decision. I was having a very close look at the boxer, and relatively compared to some of the other guys, he was swaying swaying a bit. He
So
looked
you
a
do
bit
think
out of
it was
Oh,
the right
absolutely.
decision?
Yeah,
undoubtedly.
definitely.
Why are you so sure?
I just feel like it's just what the ref knows. The ref knows. You can look at the person.
You could see he was swaying slightly kind of like that. His eyes looked a bit off, and also in the manner that he went down, he just completely collapsed.
Bang.
There wasn't kind of like a staggered fall or anything like that.
He was furious though, absolutely furious, Talbot.
Yeah, but you're about to be, you know, you're a competitor. You've trained for this for so many weeks that you obviously wanted to carry on. But I think at the end of the day, when he looks back at the tape, if he watches this back on TV, I think he'll see what we all saw and the fact that he was down very, very kind of suddenly, and also he took it slightly longer to get up than maybe, you know, he should have done if he really was to carry on. But yeah, I think definitely the best decision. It's amateur boxing, you know, it doesn't matter that much at the end of the day. It's not life-changing or anything like that. So it's great to see that, you know, both fighters are okay. You know, they shook hands and they celebrated after, and also commiserations to Younis on that one.
Absolutely. Adam, sportsman, how crushing is that for Talbot? How difficult is it to pick yourself back up from that? He's trained for this for so long, over so quickly.
Yeah, I feel like it will affect him in his future competitions. You'll think back to that last one and be like, okay, yes, but he can also improve from that. I know a lot of great fighters would improve from their losses, and that's what he needs to do.
Absolutely, it could be the making of him, you know. It's not a pleasant experience going through that, getting you know, knocked out or TKO, pardon me, so early in the fight. And he's trained for this for so long, and so in the future he's going to have to maybe go away, reevaluate how he prepared for this bout, and I think, you know, maybe take his training to the next level. And you know, some people will react well to it, some people won't react well to it. You get differences in the fight game. But for example, you know, on the professional level, Talbot from Sheffield, you know, he recently had a boxing match here in Sheffield at the arena, and he'd been off the back of 2 losses, and he came back to win. So yeah, it depends sometimes. You never quite know, but it depends really on the character of the person himself.
Do you dwell on that? Do you analyse that a little bit? If you're Talbot, do you think, where did I go wrong? Or do you get it straight out of your system and move on?
I feel like today he's just got to kind of like let it go, forget about it, don't stress, because obviously you kind of overthink it as well once it goes on. You'll be like, oh, he'll be looking at the other fights thinking, why wasn't that me? Why didn't I win? But he's just got to try and put that frustration back into his next fights.
It's going to be a rough 24 hours, you know, let's be realistic. You know, he's been looking forward to this for so long, and you know, it's inevitable that you're going to be down for a bit. But I think in a couple of days' time, obviously the training coaches, both teams are very close. You know, I think the head trainer obviously trains both fighters, so he'll congratulate one, he'll be there to support the other. And I think this is boxing at the end of the day. They knew what they were getting in for. They knew that, you know, there was a very good chance that one of them could be down. And you know, sometimes it's you, sometimes it's the other, and I think that's part of what they expect. I'm sure he's been down before, and I'd be surprised if it's not the last one.
Does the fact they train together that close, does that help, or is that just cruel? You have to go back into training and see the guy who knocks you out.
I know there may be some banter in the changing rooms and stuff. I know I would definitely.
Well, I don't know, I think you'd be slightly sympathetic. It'd be a bit cruel to be like, oh, yeah, by the way, I knocked you out. You know,
well, it's maybe not in so many words.
Maybe Alan would do that, but I would. I'd be a bit more kind.
But he is going to get that, isn't he?
Well, I think, no, I don't think he will actually. I mean, everybody knows what happens. There's no point in repeating it and going on about it forever. But in a second, we're going to be joined by Jordan Gill, the professional boxer. That's something very exciting. He trains out of the Dave Caldwell's gym in Sheffield with the likes of Tony Bellew, and I think we can tell you that he's going to be having a very big boxing fight soon. I'm not sure if it's announced, so I'm not saying anything. But he recently won a title eliminator for the British title, so stay tuned for that. We're going to have him on in any second. Yeah,
I think you can come on in now. Hello, Ollie.
Yeah, so how are you feeling about the first 2 bouts? Pretty excited for 4 bouts, pardon me. Very exciting boxing.
Yeah, unbelievable. The atmosphere is crazy. The fights have been brilliant, very entertaining. Everyone's getting into it, and it's good to see 2 universities come together and put on such a show.
Do you think it was a good stoppage there in that last one?
I'm pleased to see it was stopped. You know, boxing is a dangerous sport. You don't want to see anyone hurt. So, you know, he was out on his feet. The referee done a good job, and I'm glad that they both got out of the ring safe.
What did you think to the third bout? Obviously, that was very close. They had a knockdown early, and then he came back to win.
Yeah, it was brilliant. You know, all the fights have been really good. Everyone's performed very well, and I'm excited to see more.
Are you a bit surprised at the standard? Pleasantly surprised at the standard?
I'm pleasantly surprised. Yeah, you know, I didn't know much about the fights coming in. I didn't know much about the fighters coming in. And I didn't really know what to expect, so I'm pleasantly surprised. I've been told that they've not trained for very long for these fights, and to see that they're coming in and giving it all, you know, that's all you can ask for.
The undefeated in your career so far. Have you kind of, do you know roughly what it feels like, or can you kind of imagine what it feels like? Did you only lose any amateur boxing fights?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I had a lot of amateur fights. I boxed for England. I was in 7 national finals. I competed at the highest level. Now I'm undefeated in 19 professional fights, and these are the sort of nights you live for. Obviously, it's on a smaller stage at the moment, but I would have loved to fight on this show as an amateur. Because the buzz and the atmosphere is unbelievable, and if you lose tonight in front of all your friends, then they're not going to let you forget it for a long time.
What's next for you coming up? Have you got any news that you can tell us, or what you're looking forward to?
Well, my last fight was a 10-round British title eliminator against 2-time Commonwealth champion Jason Callan, live on Sky Sports. So we're moving straight on. I've got a keep busy fight on May 5th on the undercard of Tony Bellew and David Hay, again live on Sky Sports at the O2 Arena. So it's going to be a huge show. I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to soak up the atmosphere just like here today. Obviously it's on a bigger stage, but it's similar atmosphere.
It can't get much louder than this, can it?
Well, you wouldn't have thought so. I think it's a small arena. It feels like I'm in the York Hall today, which is like the Mecca of boxing in Britain.
As a professional sportsman, do you get nerves before things like this, or is it adrenaline, more adrenaline?
I think everyone's different. Everyone goes through their own process, and I think that for me, there's never any nerves. It's just anticipation of what's to come, and you're anxious to get in there and do what you've trained to do. These guys have been training for weeks on end to do their job and get in there and perform, and they'll be excited to do that today.
What is your advice then for Matthias Talbot, who got knocked out in the last bout? How can he pick himself from that? Because that's so disappointing for him, isn't it?
Every situation you just got to learn from. It's not an ideal situation for him. You don't want to ever get knocked out, but if he wants to continue, he can get up and go again. I'm sure he was ready to continue at the end of the fight, and I'm sure he would have put in a good account of himself even after that. But I think the right decision was made. If he wants to have another fight, he can do, and I'm sure he'll come out victorious in that.
Well, thank you very, very much for coming on to speak to us today. It's been a real pleasure. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. Yeah, so there you go, a professional boxer for you on Full Sport.
Yeah, a real live professional boxer. And, really fantastic to speak to him.
Potentially go on to big things in the future. Undefeated, he's got an incredible record. If you've watched him fight, definitely check him out on online on Sky Sports or on YouTube. I'm sure you can find some stuff. Hopefully, fingers crossed, he goes on, wins some world championships. And then, we said we had a world champion on Full Sport.
Absolutely, you saw him here first. Absolutely, look out for him. All right, let's look ahead then to the next bout number 6 this evening. Henry Kernu of Younis versus Ali Fuhrer, hope I pronounced that right, of Hallam. 5'9", mechanical engineer takes on 5'8", sports scientist. What are we expecting with that one?
I mean, obviously a lot smaller and a lot more speed. Probably, hopefully. And I know Ollie, because of mechanical engineering.
Come on, give us the inside information.
Well, sports science might have, slightly more, better footwork, better nutrition, but mechanical engineering, I think he's going to have the ring smart, I'm going to go for that. No, I'm just joking. You never quite know. Obviously, I'm biased, but yeah, it's an exciting battle. It's great seeing, actual university students getting to compete in such an incredible atmosphere. As Jordan said, it doesn't get any better than this in amateur boxing. This is almost as good as professionals get it. And so these guys, they're both lucky. But as you said, yeah, it's pretty devastating when he gets knocked out. So hopefully, although we want to see the drama, we're in the entertainment industry, we're here for you guys.
We do want to see the drama. I don't want to have to run again like I did last time. Okay, all square then at the minute. Who takes? How important is it to take this next one?
Younis are going to take the night. I've got the feeling.
Are you? Why are you saying that? Why?
Well, okay, obviously. We have our slight biases, but no, I think honestly, the momentum. I think that third fight is so important. I think I don't know. I have a feeling that Younis are going to do it. Last year, it felt very much resigned that Hallam feel like they had it for a long way off. But Younis have some big, more experienced fighters. Hallam have a lot of experience coming as well. Younis on average are older than Hallam as well. So I think experience.
Does that make a difference? Is that experience?
As you get older in anything in life, you have more experience. You may have better preparation. And so I think if they've had more, the amount of bouts are very equal. All these guys have very few boxing events. But I think if you get older, you're 22 versus a 19-year-old, you probably have a bit more experience in terms of life, in terms of your training training and preparation as well.
Is there something to be said, though, Adam, for youthful exuberance and enthusiasm?
As a young person myself, I know I feel like it is a massive thing, and being able to like bounce back from that. Obviously, when you get older, you do feel injuries more as well. So I know they've probably been through a lot of injuries, and I know they'll take a massive toll on them.
But we're not talking about, you know, he's Henry Kernu. They're still in their primes, aren't they? We're not talking about, you know, 30s, are we?
Yeah, absolutely not. I've got a question for you, Adam. Okay, so when you're training for your Taekwondo national championship, which you won recently, how did you prepare? You know, how did you get ready? What were you doing in the weeks beforehand?
Well, I had to cut weight. I was at, I think, 56 kilograms, had to cut down to minus 54. So it's a lot of weight cutting, a lot of cardio as well. And yeah, just making sure your nutrition's right as well before the fight.
So were you nervous going into your kind of, you know, your event on that evening? You know, obviously the national championships is, you know, is probably as big as it might get for you. Yeah. Hopefully not. I won't see you. That hurt. No, but you know, okay, maybe you go to the Europeans, something like that. I'm not sure, but fingers crossed. Yeah, but you know. Is that kind of what you're aiming for? But you know, before you go into the bout, you must be nervous. You know, in Taekwondo you can get kicked as well, so it's kind of slightly nervous in that aspect. I'd be more worried about it. Boxing is kind of slightly more one-dimensional. But yeah, how did you prepare? What was it like other than nutrition? Were you kind of sparring every single day? Or?
Yeah, so like I know our coach massively amped up the sparring 4 weeks out, sparring sessions every single time we train. And before we went to that, normally we do patterns or something like that, breaking boards, self-defense. But then as soon as it comes to competition, we know what to do.
Yeah, definitely check out. There's obviously the Sheffield and Hallam have a joint boxing club that you guys can all join if you're watching. And there's also the Taekwondo Society that I've gone through once.
Yeah, I know. When are you going to come back on
it? To be honest, you know, I trained with Adam the first time, and I was like,
How good is he?
He's good. I was like, okay, look, I'm quite way behind, but also to be honest, I'm third year now. It's pretty busy at university. That's my excuse.
That's the reason.
In my excuse, I'm also training for an Ironman at the moment. So I haven't got time to do both.
You can't do everything. No.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'll take your cardio, no worries. No, but anyway, you know, what an event so far. You know, the atmosphere is incredible, and do you reckon it can get even louder?
I don't know. I feel like they could challenge it. I really feel that they could.
You know, but after that, you know, that third bout with the knockdown and the win, obviously when they announced that points victory, that was huge. It was so loud. Yeah. But I think this is what we're in store for the rest of the night. You know, everyone's going to kind of get more anticipated, especially if it gets closer and it stays really close towards the end of the night. I mean, if the last bout is the deciding bout, can you imagine that?
That would be absolutely fantastic. We are finished for now. We're going to take a look at some of the highlights of what we've seen so far. Welcome back to Varsity Boxing here. We're looking ahead to bout number 6 this evening. Henry Kernu of Younis versus Ali Fuhrer of Sheffield Hallam. Ollie's already staked his claim to the Mechanical Engineering Society. It might be biased, I'm not quite sure. But you're looking forward to this one, Adam?
Yeah, definitely. I know it'll be a very different fight from the last. More speed and hopefully just more explosive action.
We're hoping to compete. What does Ali Fuhrer do to carry on the momentum for Hallam?
I mean, you know, okay, everyone's going to be nervous at this point. Okay, you know, you've just seen.
Both sides.
Well, obviously, you've seen some of your teammates be knocked down. You've seen some of your teammates be knocked out. You know, everyone's going to be absolutely nervous now. I think it's just staying cool. You know, and some of the breaks, if you look at what they do during kind of the half time stuff like that, a lot of the coaches will have them do breathing exercise. They're just saying, calm down, deep breaths. I mean, that's really important for fun. You know, I think they often say that, you know, if you have 6 deep breaths, it lowers your blood pressure. And that's what these guys need to do now. I think it'll be interesting to see in the ring earlier, you know, when they were doing the face-off before they started, when the referee was talking to them. There was a lot of kind of little chat like there. I'd love to have a microphone to that bit, but we probably have to bleep it all out. But I think, you know, it's an important moment, because if you can get an advantage over your opposition there, if you know, really intimidate him, you know, if somebody was looking to me like, you know, obviously we were about to go into a boxing fight, I'd be petrified.
So would I.
You know, those guys, you know, obviously we're going to stand firm and really show them, the other guy, that they're up for business.
And it comes back to that psychology thing, doesn't it?
And also massively also comes back with energy during the fight. You can't be all explosive in the first round, then the second and third you're going to be absolutely knackered. Your punches will be slower, your form will lack as well. And there's also, like you said, psychology as well. Just thinking, being confident in your ability is a massive part of it.
We've seen that in quite a few bouts this evening. For example, you know, the first one, you know, not everyone who wins the first round, and even in the first bout, you know, the latter 2 rounds were won by different fighters. So I think it is really, you know, you've got to remember that it's a 3-round bout, but ultimately it's hard because you obviously don't want to, you know, take damage early on and be, you know, in a position where they stop the fight. So I think we'll have to see how it goes, but it's a really hard decision to make. You know, do you go for the long run, or do you go, you know, for the, you know, try and stop it early?
Isn't it? That bout management, if you like.
And it is massively because you can use your harder punches in the first round, but also you've got to be able to surprise your opponent in the third and use that extra burst of energy that you were hiding in the second.
How important are this crowd? How important are they? How important can they be?
Oh, absolutely huge. You know, I think if you heard, you know, after that University of Sheffield fight, boxer was knocked down very early. Hallam was so loud. University of Sheffield very quiet. As soon as it started to come back, it really rose, and I think it really pushed him on in the 3rd round. I think, you know, again, as we said, you know, this is an incredible crowd. They're very, you know, very loud as well. And I don't think you can ask for much better. It's very much equal. There's exactly the same amount of students from each university. And, you know, sometimes you might even hear behind us that we struggle to speak over them. It gets that loud. For us, you know, we can barely hear each other. We have to use our earpieces. So, yeah, it's incredible. I think, yeah, this is the reason why it's my favourite varsity event, because the crowd is always the loudest. It doesn't get any louder than boxing, partly because, you know, it's obviously insulated here in the Octagon. But, yeah, the crowd is phenomenal.
Is this sort of atmosphere unique to varsity? Is this a unique to varsity, do you think?
I think it is, just the like absolute power that you get. I know, like, when you see them sitting down in the middle and you hear the chants, and you can tell it affects them. You can tell they hear it.
That intense rivalry as well.
Exactly, yeah. The rival just makes it even more competitive and even more just like, especially with the knockdowns, it's just explosive around the whole place.
To often get that rivalry in a boxing kind of event. Normally it's kind of everybody has, you know, you don't really get that home crowd versus opposition really 50-50. Sometimes you have a home fighter. You know, Kelbrook, when he fought in Sheffield recently, obviously he'd have been, you know, have all the advantages there. Normally it's swayed much more, and so having such a balanced crowd is really good. I think that's what makes varsity so special. And I doubt that you'd get very many crowds like this in, you know, in the rest of the UK. Normally be much more swayed one way or the other.
That's why you stay on Forge TV. Let's look ahead then to what else is coming up. We've got Jaffa Salah versus Aaron Waller in the bout after this one. That's bout number 7. Bout number 8, Joe Norman of Uni of Sheffield versus Farrell Masterson of Hallam. Bout number 9, Sam Urbanski of Sheffield Uni versus Alex Jorgensen of Hallam. And the final bout, that could be the decider. I hope that is the decider. Raj Patel of Uni of versus Saul Holland of Hallam. How great would it be if the final bout is the decider?
Well, the place would just absolutely go mental. I just want it to happen just to experience that level of craziness.
Go wild. It would be so loud in here. I think, you know, that's what we want. We want the best contest possible, you know. I mean, and that's what also everybody else at home. They might have, you know, their side that they're rooting for, but if they win in the last bout, that's ultimately as good as it gets, really, isn't it?
Is that why the last bout does it spoil that competitive element a little bit because it was over so quickly?
I know, it's like the amount of noise that went around, and you can tell because especially when that's happened to Hallam, you just want to be like bang and absolutely reply with hopefully even more great fights.
Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. So what are we looking for from Henry Kernu then to come out after that disappointment for Younis? What are we looking for from him?
Just like technique and ring control, and especially being aggressive as well, because as you said, aggressiveness really pays off in these amateur fights.
Yeah, in any kind of combat sport, footwork as well, you know, you've really got to manage it. I think if you can have good footwork, you can move around the ring properly, you can control the tempo, you can get yourself a problem. Sometimes we see boxers get stuck in the corners. If your footwork's good enough, you can get yourself out of those problems. But yeah, again, it comes down to managing your energy. You know, we've seen a lot of boxers so far tonight get tired, and obviously your footwork gets more sloppy as it goes. So it's an incredible sport which has so much to offer, and you never quite know how it goes, and obviously you know you can have huge upsets.
Fantastic first half then. For you, best moment?
Knockdown, obviously. The TKO has got to be the place
Was that
erupted.
disappointing now? I thought that was disappointing.
I know.
Facebook Live at the time.
Exactly.
You know, it was during our
Absolute
interval,
nightmare.
and I said to Adam, okay, let's just keep an eye out, let's keep the commentary on, just to check in case it happens.
Oh yeah, don't worry. Oh look, and you see it.
And it's 5 seconds after we said that, it happened.
I've not run so fast in about 20 years.
It was crazy. But yeah, I think obviously, like we said before, that's more what we want tonight. And I think everybody in here, you know, is what value for money they get as the spectators. You know, it's not very much to come. And you know, other boxing events are much more. You know, university does such a great job putting this on and organising it, and a huge credit to Sports Sheffield and the Hallam team as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. Am I alone though in thinking that was slightly an anticlimax? Don't you want a tactical bout that's back and forth? Do you not want that?
You want a bit of both. You do want, you know, you want a couple bouts where it really goes to the, you know, the judges' scorecard and everyone's, you know, biting their nails to find out what's going to happen. But it is nice to see some, you know, dramatic excitement which just kind of happens in a split second like that. You need a mix of both.
All right, Ollie, best moment for you then?
I'd say bout 3. You know, that comeback was incredible. As soon as that happened, it was the first knockdown of the evening. Everybody looked around and was like, oh, well, this is over, isn't it? But no, he carried on, and he boxed so intelligently, you know, as a Sheffield fighter. You don't get, it's so, you know, he's not had much experience at this level or at all, you know. This is the first few fights for these guys. And so to come back, you know, do 2 standing 8 counts against the other guy, which scored obviously a lot of points for him. Yeah, I was very, very impressed. I don't think it gets much better than that in terms of how they
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen.
We are heading back now for bout number 6. Henry Kernu, Younis versus Ali Fuhrer of Sheffield Hallam, and they are going for it here. Atmosphere electric yet again. Let's hope for a slightly longer bout this time. I don't want to run again like I did last time. Let's call it. Adam, who's coming out on top? Younis.
Yeah, I've got to support the boys.
Is that bias?
I don't know. I also just feel like you need energy tonight. Have been just so well, so methodical with their fights.
Ollie?
I don't know, it's hard to know. But yeah, I'll go the opposite. I'll go Hallam. I think Hallam will take this one. I think we'll go all 3 rounds. I think after the last bout where we saw it end very quickly, I think it'll be a bit of a nervous start.
We certainly hope so, and they are really, really going for it here. So 5'9" mechanical engineer Henry Kernu takes on 5'8" sports scientist Ali Fuhrer. So fingers crossed this one is as good as the ones we've seen previously. Just quickly, but while we're waiting for this to start, how significant, I don't like doing this so quickly, how significant is that first female varsity bout? How significant is that? That's a really significant moment.
It just shows like the power of the girls as well, and the technique, the footwork, and how they just flowed through the punches was just showing a testament to how good girls can box.
Because obviously from a Younis point of view, we're coming off of the elections, for example, a whole SU officer team of women. It's it's an interesting, significant time, isn't it, Holland?
Yeah, I think women's sport throughout the country is getting more and more attention, and I think it's about time. It's great. I think the varsity, is fairly equal, and it's good that women, are getting the opportunity. I'm sure that we'll see more and more women compete in boxing over the next couple of years as well. After we've had kind of this ignorable evening tonight, but yeah, it was just no one can say that it wasn't as entertaining as men's boxing. It was just as good, if not better. So I want to see more of it.
What did you think of the standard of the female bout?
So good. It was just like, and the standard of all the fights as well have been so clear cut and just so, I don't know, it's just like outstanding, really.
Okay. The crowds are absolutely going for it here. The MC is goading them into a face-off, into a rivalry. That rivalry is
quite biased. I'm going to put this out there.
Yeah, a little bit.
He said at the start,
yeah.
He seems. I'm not sure if he's a University of Sheffield alumni or something like that. But he definitely, seems pro University of Sheffield. We try to say a bit more news to him.
I have no idea what you just said to me. Can we have a look at this? This is absolutely incredible atmosphere here. A real credit to Varsity. This then is bout number 6. Henry Kernu.
Representing Sheffield Hallam, Hallam Farouji.
Centre for this 6th bout of the night with me, Ashton Kirby, and I'm joined by Josh Taylor. In this fight, it will be Ali Fuhrer versus Henry Kernu. Josh Taylor, how do you think the night's gone so far?
It's been a great night, actually. 2 TKOs, 1 split decision and 1 unanimous decision. 2-all the stand at the minute. These boxers both fought at Varsity last year. Farouji losing his fight. So we're going to try and get a bit of redemption here, trying to win this bout tonight. Took quite a while to get to the ring, but he's here now, and that's all that matters, as the ref just makes sure the handshake and the glove touches in there, and the first round of the 6th bout of Varsity is about to begin.
definitely a bit of maybe mind games there with the late entrance.
Well, the MC said he couldn't find his way as both the fighters start here with Kernu coming in with a left jab, Fuhrer returning with a combo. Kernu there, he hits with a nice left jab to Fuhrer. Fuhrer is not holding his guard very high, he's leaving his face open, and that's where Kernu is trying to hit with that left jab. You see he's trying to gauge there, and he swings with a right there, and he hits with a left jab right up the middle. Fuhrer needs to get his guard up. What do you think so far, Ashton, as Fuhrer does return with a couple of hooks, and Kernu is up against the ropes. Kernu can't get his block up. Sorry, Ashton, I'll bring you in a second. This is exploding into a nice bout here as Fuhrer put a stop to Kernu's early dominance.
Yeah, for sure. Don't mind you bringing me late. Don't worry. The Kernu definitely came out great in the start, and then Fuhrer had a lovely spree of punches there and has brought the fight back to a balance, and now they're both trying to find a dominance.
It just seems that Fuhrer was waiting for his moment there. He allowed Kernu to, he invited Kernu onto him, waited for a weak spot as both boxers hit and miss, or swing and miss, sorry. As Kernu keeps going, Fuhrer really boxing Kernu into a corner. As Fuhrer hits twice, Kernu needs to get his guard up as he goes to the offensive again. Fuhrer just inviting Kernu onto him, and he's just trying to pick him off with another nice right hook. A left jab there by Fuhrer, misses as Kernu starting to get his guard up a bit higher, but he's holding it low. So both fighters, it looked like Fuhrer wasn't guarding his face as Kernu hits again with a jab. Fuhrer with no guard. You think that's a good tactic at this stage?
Not a great tactic, but he seems to be doing well. He's dodging the punch as well. That's definitely his strength. He's dodging and then coming off, rolling off them, and then punching him and giving a good shot clean into Kernu's face. I can't really tell who's dominating at the moment. They've both had a few good shots.
The round has ended here with Fuhrer. I'd say his bob and weaving there was very impressive. He didn't need to have his guard up for the last couple of seconds there. Kernu will be very disappointed there. He had Fuhrer in a position where he could have gone and capitalised, because Fuhrer had no guard up. He left the middle, his face, the most important part of a boxer, open. Kernu could have capitalised on that, but Fuhrer kept his calm, waited for his moment, and I tell you what, he hit Kernu a few open shots. I think he might have taken that round for me.
Yes, definitely. Fuhrer definitely came in strong. He had the confidence, but Kernu was getting a good few punches in, a few good jabs, a few good left hooks, right hooks, and then Fuhrer had a good spree in the middle part with a few right and lefts and a few jabs that caught Kernu off guard. And there was no one really dominating there, but it was a good balanced fight.
Yeah, I think it's on the precedent now is with Fuhrer. If he can keep his, I'd say could he keep his guard up, but it doesn't really look like it. Again, he's not. He's holding it low. He's waiting for Kernu to swing. And there you go. He tried with the uppercut, misses, but hits with a hook. Kernu is on the ropes here with Fuhrer with another right hook with a left jab. Kernu needs to get his guard up as Fuhrer goes for the clinch, forces Kernu into the ropes there. Tell you what I was saying, Fuhrer baiting Kernu, leaving him open, and Fuhrer just wailing on him with a couple of nice hooks. As he goes again, Kernu does well to keep his balance. The 5'9", 22-year-old fought at Varsity last year. He's just got to keep his guard up. Fuhrer again, bobbing and weaving, and he's down! Kernu is down! Fuhrer again baited Kernu onto him, and he just let a nice body shot rip, and Kernu is down. What's the referee going to do here? He's very slow to get up Kernu. The coach is coming over. Kernu is up. What's the referee going to do here? He's going to allow Kernu to go into his corner. But Fuhrer, he's 33, and his tactics working. No guard, bobbing and weaving, and Kernu is on the deck.
Fuhrer's feet have been perfect as well. He brought himself back, allowing him to punch and dodge it, and then attacked him with a spree of shots. And it's perfect tactic, and then he did exactly the same in the corner and knocked him down. It's perfect game plan from Fuhrer.
He seems so calm out there as his coach just goes to talk to him. It looks like there's a timeout here. Kernu is in his corner, the coach there. The MC is out on the ring. I think they might have stopped this fight, actually.
I think they might have, I'm not sure though.
And it's actually stopped. The referee's actually stopped. He didn't make it clear, but the MC's in the ring, and Fuhrer has won this point. It looks like Kernu could not recover from that nice body shot. He was off balance. Fuhrer baited onto him, hit him with a nice left hook to the body, and he was down. A couple of moments before there, Kernu did go in for a jab, and Fuhrer missed him. He swung and missed, but Kernu was off balance, and it does look like now the MC looks like the referee has stopped this fight. Just to make that clear, Hallam have won this point. Fuhrer, the 33-year-old, he is studying sports science at Hallam. Kernu still in his corner, slow to get up. Looks like he hasn't recovered. Ashton, what do you think about that fight?
Kernu had a great start. He was unlucky to go down so early because he came out early. But it's just Fuhre's tactical awareness. He knew exactly what Kernu was going to do, it seemed like. And here comes the result.
And round number 6, your winner by knockout,
And there we go, winner by knockout, Ali Fuhrer. He baited Kernu onto him, let a nice left hook go, and Kernu was on the floor. A great sportsmanship by Kernu, being appreciated by the Younis fans. Great atmosphere here. Each university behind their boxer, and Fuhrer walks away victorious. Hallam go up 3-2 in the 6th bout of the night, the 5th varsity bout, and the ball is really in Hallam's court after the interval. It was an important fight to win, and Fuhrer has delivered the point that may give the advantage. Can they capitalise on this, Ashton?
They can. After the interval, they've won the first fight. They've got the momentum. They've now got the Hallam on good spirits. But Younis of Sheffield, I'll be surprised if they gave up now. They'll definitely fight for the rest of the night still.
And we're happy to go back to the presenters on the floor.
And again, that finished slightly sooner than we expected as well. But yet again, a fantastic bout. Oh, is your mic on there? Yeah, no, carry on.
I don't know.
All right, carry on, it's my fault. All right. So yeah, just to confirm there, Ali Fuhrer winning for Sheffield Hallam. That makes it 3-2. Henry Kernu losing there for Younis, and that it makes things slightly tricky for Younis. Have we got your mic working?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just look at the camera.
Oh, and here he is, Ali Fuhrer. Huge congratulations. What are your thoughts?
Very good bout. Henry fought very good, and I'm glad of the result. And nothing to say.
Were you fairly confident going in?
Yeah, I was confident. I trained hard. But a little bit nervous. But I'm glad that good result. I'm sorry about that. I really don't want it to hurt it hard. I would like you to do the 3 rounds and with not like this, but hope that is not injured. Yeah.
How was the reaction of the crowd when you won? How did that feel?
Yeah, I like the crowds. I like to do boxing in this environment. It's good. I feel good.
Well, congratulations and go and celebrate.
Huge congratulations. Well done. Huge congratulations. Adam, have we got you working?
Yeah, I should be good now.
I think I can hear you. That's perfect.
So that obviously wasn't Ali's first varsity. He's done several varsity boxing events before, and so I think that experience told. As soon as we kind of saw, I said to Alan, this is not going the distance, and I was right. Yeah, he did incredibly well, and you could tell that even though the University of Sheffield boxer came on quite strong initially, he just did not look phased at all, and he dealt with it very well.
And it's interesting because we were talking, weren't we, about the old guard. Is that a disadvantage? Certainly proved not to be a disadvantage here.
It really showed experience was key in that fight, and the head movement on Fuhrer was sensational to see him duck moving. His hands were down, but it didn't matter because he was so elusive.
All right, bout number 7 now.
Killingly, joined once more with Will Simpson.
Hello, Joe.
Will, we're looking forward to this bout. It looks like it's going to be an interesting contest.
The introduction alone, mate, looked very electrifying there. Everyone's getting into this one. It is so neck and neck at the moment. The Hallam University has just taken a point back. It's up to Younis now to really battle for another point.
So to reiterate, we've got Jaffa Salah in the red corner representing Younis, Aaron Waller in the blue corner for Hallam. Aaron being the elder by 8 years, do you think this will play a part in this fight?
Well, as we just saw in that last bout, Ali was a lot more mature. He was a bigger size and he was able to push his opponent around quite a bit. But you never really know until the first punches are thrown. It could tell. They could be both very skilled. It could be very even. It could go one way. We're going to find out, and it's going to be really good.
You've been in the ring yourself. How important are those for opening few shots?
They can really affect the mindset. You know, you get caught by that first shot and you miss your first few. You're immediately on a bit of a lower high ground, you know, a bit of a lower standpoint. You know, your mentality breaks a little. You've got to keep it together when you're in there. You miss your first few shots, you just got to keep composed and you've got to keep trying. And as you land, you just build your confidence and you start trying different things, moving your head, going body and then head, mixing things up a little.
Well, if the crowd have been warming up the previous bouts, they're certainly right on form now.
Tell you what, Aaron definitely looks up for this. He's soaking it all in. He's loving every moment of this.
His choice of entrance song, trying to appease the locals. It seems like he was really trying to get the crowd on side, but it still seems Younis have the louder voice so far.
I would say tonight they've been very vocal. They've done a real good job supporting their team. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to the boxers, and they've just got to get in there and do their best.
Well, off we are.
Starting with both a bit cautious here, just feeling out of the jab. But Aaron, as you can see, he's a bit more willing to throw that backhand there. We're yet to see one from Shafat. He's just got to sort of show a bit of confidence. And again, something that I've pointed out all night from the Younis team, they're not keeping that guard up. As you can see Aaron here, he's got that guard high, he's coming forward. That's going to work for him because he's going to be able to close that gap and pin his opponent to the ropes.
Yeah, Aaron using his jab and his cross very effectively in these opening few exchanges. And it looks like he's really having a few swings in there now.
One thing I will say so far is no one's really landed anything. And it's quite an interesting one to watch. Aaron did just land a jab there, you know. Little things, it's hard to split around apart until you start seeing proper shots landing. That was a good backhand there by Aaron. There's another jab. He's the one that's starting to dictate the pace a little now. Shafar's got to force the initiative a little now. He's got to start landing a couple shots.
Well, it seems that Aaron's taking the centre of the ring and he's guiding the fight. Jaffa's doing his best to come inside and land some shots, but Aaron's picking him off nicely on the way out here.
Yeah, his tactic at the moment isn't working. He's got to switch it up a little. He's got to raise that guard. You know, if Aaron's leading with that jab, he's got to be ready to parry and he's got to get himself in there. He's got to get a combination in and get outside. At the moment, Aaron is showing to be the stronger of the two, and so he's got to be a bit smarter about his approach to this.
Yeah, electric atmosphere, and Jaffa looks a bit tired on his feet there.
Yeah.
He's coming back into it now and he's throwing with all he's got, but he needs to keep his hands up here. He's got them far too low, as you've already commented.
I'll tell you what though, seen it with every bout tonight, and what an impressive night it's been. Everyone has got the heart of a lion. Look,
he's Aaron really trying to force the issue now.
And Jaffa is not backing down. He's trying his hardest to meet every punch, but Aaron just seems too strong at the moment. He's got to come out of it. Callan Beardo in the corner, he's got to give him some new tactics to come out with.
Aaron studying food and nutrition at Hallam, that's got to help going into this bout now.
Well, yeah, I'm sure he'll be looking after himself. From the looks of it, he's a very lean, very tough-looking fella, you know. He'll have made weight quite well. But, you know, you can never really tell how much they've got in the tank until you get so far into the bout. It's only been the first round, you know. They could come out and one of them could gas out before the end.
Well, you've been in the gym with these lads. What was the build-up like going into this fight? How was the atmosphere in the gym?
Well, you know what? Everyone's been quite sportingly, and it's a pleasure to see. Everyone's been training the hardest. They've been turning up to their sessions. They've been doing the sparring. Some of these lads have literally been sparring one another before a week or so before the matches. You know, it's unreal, and it's so good to see that they're just willing to get in there, put friendship aside for a minute, duke it out, and then come out. You know, it's just sport at the end of the day, and they're loving it.
It really is a great sacrifice both fighters have made as they come out here for the second round. Early exchanges, Aaron swinging, landing.
Brilliant determination from both fighters here. Again, Aaron looking stronger. Jafar's got to be smart, he's got to move that head. He's just keeping in the middle here and he's getting caught.
He's lost it, he really is throwing handbags here. He needs to keep that guard up and keep cool.
But it's working now, he's starting to push him back. And this is what I mean, you never know how much they've got in the tank until you get so far into the bout. And Aaron is actually slowing down here. And this could actually be Jafar's chance to bring it back a little.
The crowd as well, winning Jafar on, really trying to push and help him with his momentum.
Yeah, swinging a bit now. Now Aaron's hands are dropping.
It really was a wild exchange that opened this second round, and it looks like he's costing him now. He looks like he's empty. He's been backed up into the corner, and he's just trying to pick off Aaron, but Aaron's doing a very good job of keeping his distance.
The way this fight's looking now, I mean, Aaron, this is really good work here. He's using that jab still. He's tired, but he's not giving into it. He's trying to keep that guard up and just use that jab to keep the points going and dictate the pace and the distance. And that's going to do him a lot of favours. But I just can't get over how hard both of these guys are trying. It's brilliant to watch because no one's getting dominated here. They're both giving it their best. And that's a brilliant right hand. Another one. He might be on the verge of giving him a counter.
Really going here, Jaffa trying to force the issue.
Jaffa's got to get back in there. He can't stop. This is his opportunity. He has to get back on top of him.
Do you think Aaron was let off a bit there? Could he push with the momentum?
He was let off a bit there. I think that was Jafar's chance there. He's going to have to wait for another opening now.
Well,
Aaron's hands have dropped. And now he's been caught again and he's backed off.
Really has. We haven't seen many level changes yet. Could body shots be the key when both fighters are this tired?
The way they're slowing down, I think you've hit the nail on the head there. They really could, just one shot to the ribs could slow this bout right down in someone's favour.
Well, here we are. We enter the final few seconds. The boxers waiting it out, and there we are. End of the second round. Electric stuff here at the Octagon.
Well, I'll tell you what, after that first round, don't get me wrong, both from giving it a lot. I thought Aaron was going to dominate, but Jafar's really come out for that second round. He has tried his heart out. It's still a really close fight. I still think it's going in Aaron's favour, but this last round could tell it all. You know, if it all comes down to heart, and these guys have got it in abundance.
If you're in that Younis corner with Jafar, what advice would you be giving him now?
I'd be telling him, get that guard up, stop putting your head down, keep watching your opponent. He's slowing down, keep using that jab, and the second he starts dropping his hands to start doing this swinging and stuff, that's when you've got to throw that backhand and you've got to make him pay. Sinking a few body shots, he is slowing down and he will give in. It's all about who wants it most now.
Well, it really is inspirational stuff here, and I'm sure many will be inspired by the bravery that these two lads have put on tonight.
Look at them, they're both geared up and they're ready to go. Jafar looks tired, but I tell you what, I know he's not going to give up. Look at him, he is ready for this last round. They are both so into this, and it is a wonderful thing to see.
He can't come out all guns blazing again, though. He's got to conserve some energy for the latter stages of this round.
It is. It's one of those, they've got to judge it, but it's also a bit of a make or break.
Great combination thrown by Aaron here.
He's got to move that head. He's got to move that head and get the guard up. He's got to move it.
Really? Steps in his standing count.
It could be. I don't think it's going to be a stoppage. I think he's fine. I think he's going to be let to continue. But he's got to come in. He's got to come back. Aaron will have gassed himself out there. This is Jafar's chance to make something back of it. He can't be intimidated by it though. He's got to come back on now. He's got to come strong.
Has to take the lead, but he's been backed into this corner again, but he's done well to get out.
The guard's dropping again from Aaron though. This is his opportunity for Jafar. And bless his heart, he's swinging with everything he's got.
These are some great combinations. The crowd are on the feet. They're really looking.
Now this is a toe-to-toe exchange, and this is the sort of thing you love to see in a boxing match.
We really have had everything tonight. Some bouts have gone the whole 3 rounds, some not.
Both of them a bit weary now. I feel like Jafar's chances now, if he's just willing to push himself that bit harder, you know, at the end of the day, it's easier said than done. But
it was a great shot in there by Aaron. Jafar certainly felt that. And he's just looking for a bit of respite now.
Yeah, he's getting his breath, but he's got to come in with something. He's got to throw that backhand. Look at how low that Aaron's left arm is dropping. He's got it back up, but it's dropping every time he throws a punch. This is his opportunity. Now he's got to.
Great shots from Jafar. The crowd willing him on.
We're on to the last 20 seconds. They have both got to give it everything now. Aaron's got this unless Jafar can pull something out of the bag.
Jafar is representing his university so well here. He's leaving absolutely everything in the ring.
Tell you what, there shouldn't be a single boo in this audience. There should all be applause. 10 seconds left. Let's see if they've got anything left to give.
Biggest, I think they're going to empty the gas tank
Look
now.
at them
Some
go.
great combinations.
Beautiful.
This is rock and sock and stuff.
Brilliant stuff. Brilliant stuff. Now that's a performance to be proud of by both men. You've seen some brilliant boxing tonight. You've seen some powerful boxing tonight. You've seen some big hitters. But I think that was fight of the night right there. They both gave it everything.
They certainly left absolutely everything in that ring. Inspirational stuff from both Younis and Hallam. Now, the crowd certainly appreciates it. Everyone on their feet here.
Absolutely, man. And like I said, to say the bout started off, I thought Aaron were going to be a bit more dominant. He looked a lot stronger. Mate, it was back and forth there, and it was a beautiful thing to watch. I'm really glad to have been commentating for this one.
This could be a very close decision here. How do you feel it'll go, Will?
Like I say, I feel like Aaron got it was more tilted in his favour. Not taking anything away from either of them. What a performance by both lads. That was the stuff, you know, that's the university legends right there.
The referee, let's congratulate both boxers on that performance.
Rightly so. I hope everyone is applauding these guys.
Standing ovation here at the Octagon.
You wouldn't find 10% of the people in here that would do what they did tonight.
And the result of bout 7, the unanimous decision. Your winner, Aaron Waller, in the blue corner.
A rightful decision, but a brilliant fight. Wow.
Both fighters should leave with their heads held high after that performance. That is a definite contender for fight of the night so far.
Absolutely, man. It's the sort of things that make you love boxing. No one's been hurt. They're both just giving it every ounce that was in them. And look at them, they're both happy. I mean, at the end of the day, you're going to feel sore for taking a loss. But look, he's got that smile still. He knows he's giving it everything, and he knows that he's made himself proud.
And he knows he can learn so much from watching that battle back. And he'll come back a better fighter, I'm sure, for it.
I hope we get to see these lads again next year, because that was the best.
That really was impressive. And with that, we'll head it back down to the ringside.
Thank you.
Wow, wow, wow. Bout 7, the best bout yet?
Honestly, it was sensational. Just the pure fight from both of them. You can see it. They both wanted it so much, and that's what made it such a great fight.
Disappointment for Jafar Salah, but he boxed so well, didn't he?
I know, you could see it, but it was just his guard was letting him down so much. He would get over aggressive and just get hit with the hooks and the jabs, and it's disappointing, but he really fought well.
All right, Jafar Salah's guard let him down, Ollie. What did it for Aaron Waller?
There was definitely a size difference. I think anybody, you know, there was definitely a big size difference tonight as well. But you know, it was a wild fight. Both fighters were caught by some, big crosses as well from the right hand, especially. So it was very close indeed.
What made the fight as close as it was? Similarity in size, or what was it?
I just feel like they both went for it. Like both didn't think. Oh, they both went aggressive, and that's what made it such a collision fight and just so amazing to watch.
So we are 4-2 now. Is this getting serious for Younis now? They need to win this next bout, don't they?
Yeah, I know. It is getting to crunch time right now, and Younis need to have a massive showing in the next bout. But I feel like the diversity of the last fight, having Jafar there, just made it clear about the diversity in boxing, and also shone quite a good light on it as well.
And that bout will be Joe Norman of Younis versus Farrell Masterson of Sheffield Hallam. We were saying, Ollie, Younis need to win this next one, really. Is that likely, do you think?
Yeah, absolutely need to win this one. You know, it's 4-2 now to Sheffield Hallam, and we were trying to get some interviews there, but they decided to go off. So best of them, you know, they can go and celebrate and have the rest of the evening for themselves. So yeah, wow! I tried to take that one in. It was so close at certain points to getting stopped on both ends. And the next one obviously very important, because if you go 3-point lead, will you get that back? It's going to be a bit difficult.
Then it's that momentum thing again, isn't it?
And momentum, as you can see, has just been a massive part of what has been part of today, and it's just momentum will carry maybe Hallam to a victory, but hopefully Younis can come back and storm to a victory.
It's been an incredible comeback. Obviously, you can only win if you win 5 bouts, and this is it. Because there's only 9 varsity bouts tonight, so this really is it. If Sheffield Hallam win this and this evening, they're going to get the trophy, and then they're going to get the varsity points.
We want the last bout to be a decider, don't we? That's better for this crowd, isn't it? In the long run.
And do you think there should be another Octagon ball?
I don't know, that's controversial. Well, but you know, I think University of Sheffield are better than Liverpool, so I think we can do even better than that. And you know, absolutely.
Ladies and
But
gentlemen, can you welcome
very important.
representing Sheffield University, Joe Norman. Representing Sheffield Hallam, Masterson.
The Octagon Arena, University of Sheffield for Sheffield's Varsity Boxing. It's Sheffield Hallam 4, the University of Sheffield 2. The University of Sheffield must win this fight. The competitor for the University of Sheffield is Joe Norman. He's 22 years old, weighing 77 kilograms, standing at 5'10" and studies medicine. This is his first varsity bout. I'm joined by Tor Christie. I'm Matthew Rennie. Tor, what is the Hallam competitor like?
Well, the Hallam competitor's called Masterson. He fought in the varsity last year against David Agban, and he won comfortably. So there's a very big chance that the tournament could go to Hallam here. He also has a 2-inch advantage on him on height as well, so that might come into handy when it comes to the fight. But we never know what Joe Norman's like. We've not seen him box before, so we'll have to see when we get into the ring.
The Partisan University of Sheffield crowd getting behind Joe Norman there, but Farrell Masterson is the favourite for this fight as it stands, and he will be looking to secure the varsity point in boxing for Sheffield Hallam University on the back of their ice hockey victory yesterday. The last fight went the way of Sheffield Hallam, with Aaron Waller winning with a unanimous decision against Jafra Salah.
What a fight that was, though.
It was a very good fight.
Like we said, we were discussing beforehand, though, there was not a lot of guard there. Like we were saying, a lot of loose punches, but the fight is just about to start now.
There was a lot of good shots being thrown in the last fight, and intensity straight from the first bell. We haven't seen much gaining the distance of the punch so far, as the bell goes for the first round in the most important match of the night so far, Joe Norman versus Farrell Masterson. And a bit of a less intense start to this fight compared to the previous ones we've seen.
Both for saving energy. Good right hook there, good exchange of the punches. We've got them both a bit distance here, trying to figure out what their tactics is, moving the foot around. It looks like Masterson's on a quite defensive round here, while Joe Norman has some good punches. Takes it on.
This one does look like to be much more of a tactical affair, but Joe Norman getting through the guard of Farrell Masterson there with some good jabs and good cross shots. Again, he's through there, and he's unbalancing Farrell Masterson, of course, who won last year. Can he see his title slipping away? Joe Norman got through again there, and again he was dodgy on his feet, Farrell Masterson, against the ropes for a couple of seconds there. The University of Sheffield crowd getting right behind Joe Hudson here. He's through the guard again, 4 consecutive shots in a row to the face, and the referee has stopped it so far. What do you think of this so far, Tor?
So far, I didn't expect it. I'd probably be tighter than this. But Joe Norman's been all over him. Few punches. Masterson's losing his guard again. And yeah, it looks like Joe Norman's this. I think it'll end again in the first round, the way it carries on.
The University of Sheffield must win this. Norman through the guard of Masterson again, who has looked rocky so far, and he looks like to have quite a heavy footwork as well compared to Joe Norman's light footwork. Again, he's through the guard. The guard has gone from Farrell Masterson. His hands are low and low. Good hook shot, good crab shots, and good jab from Joe Hudson there, and gets a good right hook there, and the referee pulls Joe Hudson back again. A very impressive debut so far, Tor.
Very impressive. Like we're not seeing Masterson even get a punch on him hardly. Like he's literally on all the defensive foot, and Joe Norman, what a performance it's been. And that's it.
No, that's the end of the first round, and it surely has gone in favour of the University of Sheffield, probably unanimously. Farrell Masterson was completely outclassed throughout that round, heavy on his feet. His guard dropped and was broken through by Joe Norman on his University of Sheffield varsity debut.
Well, it's just what Younis wanted. They were worried they were going to lose it in this fight. They were going to it will end up 3-3 in the varsity, but Joe Norman's come out here, and it looks like if it carries on this way it is, then it will go to 4-3. So
Farrell Masterson, of course, won comfortably at this event in 2017, and my word, how the tables have turned.
Met his match now, hasn't he?
He has met his match indeed. Joe Norman, very impressive in his first official varsity bout as they come out of their respective corners for the beginning of the second of 3 rounds. Joe Norman will be looking to finish it here, surely, Tor.
Yes, we're getting off in the second round now. Both on the defensive foot right now. Masterson trying to get his jab, left jab, dictate it. Some good combination there. Right hook, left hook. Is that the 3 pulls on?
That's it. The fight is over. The fight is over. Just a mere 6 seconds into the second round, Joe Norman has secured a victory, a much needed, a vital victory for the University of Sheffield. It's now 3-4 to Sheffield Hallam on points, and the fights will continue to mean a heck of a lot for both the University of Sheffield and Sheffield Hallam. But Joe Norman there with a fantastic victory and a TKO stoppage. Farrell Masterson won comfortably last year. He could not replicate that form this time round, Tor.
Joe Norman's just the power of his right hooks. That's why he couldn't cope with it. Put his guard up, punch come in, and he literally lost it from there. And that was his issue, and that's when he couldn't throw any punches. And the combination afterwards and the speed they had. So, congratulations to Joe Norman on that win.
Your winner, Joe Norman in the red corner.
Joe Norman of the University of Sheffield winning there. Farrell Masterson completely outclassed as they receive their respective medals. University of Sheffield 3, Sheffield Hallam 4 now, going into our last 2 fights.
The next bout Hallam could still win it from there, but as the fans won, we could see it go to the last bout, and we'll see who wins there. But like I said, that was very good performance from Joe Norman for the Younis team.
It was indeed. We will now throw back over to ringside punditry for our upcoming fight.
Well, Younis needed a win, and a win is what they got. That was fantastic boxing from Joe Norman.
Absolutely sensational. The left hook, right hook combinations just devastated his opponent, and it was just brutal.
Did you expect the difference between them to be so big? Bearing in mind Masterson won last year.
No, I thought it would be a much closer fight. I wouldn't at all have expected the outcome. It was just the pure power to slip through his guard. That even the guard couldn't help.
Just how hard is that to do? He made that look so easy, Joe Norman.
It was just like butter going through a knife going through a butter, even. There we go. And it was just absolutely melted through his opponent, and it was amazing.
Here he is. Congratulations, huge congratulations. What are your thoughts after that?
I can't hear you, man.
What are your thoughts after that?
No, it's really good. Been training really hard for it. Yeah, I'm over the moon. I'm really pleased.
Were you really nervous beforehand?
Sorry?
Were you nervous beforehand?
Really nervous, yeah. No, I've had a tough day today. Been feeling a bit better getting towards the fight, but had about half an hour just before where I got pretty nervous again.
You could tell fairly early on that you looked pretty comfortable in there and that you kind of had the edge over him. Were you kind of really trying to find your shot after that and stop it?
Well, the coach, before I went in, said just sort of stick to the basics, stick to your jab cross. So just, did what he told me, and it worked. So
congratulations, you obviously won by quite a good margin. Congratulations, you did it really well and you won really well. Enjoy your evening. Thank you.
Congratulations, well done. Uniov, it's hard to overstate just how much Uniov needed that. They've now got momentum back on it.
Well, otherwise that would be it. That would be the end of the varsity points contest this evening. So yeah, what a performance as well. You could tell straight away that he was going to win. It wasn't really in doubt. I said to Adam, off camera that this is actually we've got this. University of Sheffield can come back, and vitally important. Otherwise, as I said, that would be it.
Otherwise, that's it. So Uniov live to fight another day. Then for bout number 9, Sam Urbanski of Sheffield Uni versus Alex Jorgensen of Sheffield Hallam. 5'11", Sam Urbanski, 6'2", Alex Jorgensen. A bit of a difference there. Will that prove telling?
I feel like the reach advantage will be massive. 6'2", also getting your punches higher than you're normally used to. And obviously normally punching to your head height normally, not trying to fight a mountain like he is. So it'll be very interesting.
But the difficulty now with Uniov is they have to win again, don't they? That is the situation they're in.
That is the situation they're in, but you've got the momentum off the last bout, so it's it's in their favour in some ways as well. The pressure is on. Hallam can relax a bit more, but will that actually work to their advantage? We don't know. And this next bout, the crowd is very excited behind us. Everyone's kind of doing a lot. We've just seen, everyone's kind of really, really excited. So everyone knows that this is it. This really won the night. We've got 2 more to go, and if this one is won by University of Sheffield, it comes down to the last bout, which, how incredible would that be?
That would be pretty amazing. Can you see Hallam getting a bit complacent now they're slightly in the lead, or is that not going to happen?
I feel like you can't be complacent in this kind of competition. You've just got to be ruthless and not even care and just go for it.
All right, this then is bout number 9.
Previous victories from Connor Quinlan for Hallam, Fraser Hamilton for Hallam, and Elizera Farogi for Hallam, and Aaron Waller for Hallam. So that makes it 4 points for Hallam so far. We've had 3 points from the University of Sheffield, Anthony O'Dowd, Joe Norman, and Alex Fraser so far. So this is a very important bout for these fighters. Sam Urbanski and Alex Jorgensen weighing in at the same 79 kilograms. Urbanski is a little bit shorter at 5'11", and Jorgensen is 6'2". There's 1 year age gap between them at 22 for Urbanski and 21 for Jorgensen. It's Urbanski's first bout and Jorgensen's second bout. What do you think of this one, Alan?
I think Urbanski's going to be up against it. There's obviously going to be a lot of pressure and a high mentality against him.
Whereas for Hallam, there's quite a lot of pressure still. He does mathematics, and it's not hard to work out that 1 point will seal the victory in the point for Hallam today.
The Hallam crowd are firmly behind Jorgensen here. This will seal it if he can get the victory today. He is taller, he'll have the upper hand in that area. We might see him being an outside fighter, leaning back a little bit more because he has that height advantage. But we'll see what Urbanski can do here with his height disadvantage.
Urbanski, though, can be quite nimble. He is at a disadvantage with height, but he can get a few jabs in, a couple of hooks.
Both fighters have gone in straight away, resulting in a clinch. It's lethal stuff here. Urbanski's up against the fence.
Jorgensen on his toes here.
Jorgensen is very energetic. You can see him jumping around a bit more than Urbanski is. Urbanski looks on the back foot here.
We can see already that height advantage might come into play. There's quite a big difference between two competitors during this bout.
Yeah, Jorgensen's just measuring him up a little bit, just seeing what he's about.
Sizing him up.
Outside, yeah, sizing him up. Giving him a few little left jabs, a few feint punches. It's interesting that they're the same weight with this height disadvantage for Urbanski, because obviously you might see Urbanski get more power as he has a stronger frame for someone who's shorter but stronger. Just going for a clinch there. It'll be interesting to see how this one plans out.
Being the same way, Urbanski might be able to move around the ring a bit quicker, but with that height advantage, Hallam could dominate here with Jorgensen.
Both competitors are very energetic. Jorgensen's going in for a few punches there.
Urbanski getting a few right jabs in.
They're still getting a feel for it as Urbanski goes in. He got him against the fence.
Jorgensen still against the ropes.
Go for a clinch there. Referee splits it up. Urbanski going for it there. Another clinch. These just need to settle down here before both fighters enter a stage of fatigue. Urbanski's up against the ropes now, and that's round one completed.
Fairly even round. Jorgensen seems to be sizing them up for the majority of the first round.
It's hard to call so far, Alan. I think the height advantage isn't coming into play, really. I think Jorgensen's going in a bit too harsh. He just needs to be a bit less energetic, and things will even out as the rounds go on.
Being the bigger competitor, if Jorgensen lets his guard down, then that gives an opportunity for Urbanski to get a few jabs and possibly a right hook.
Seems as if Urbanski's manager's just telling him to go for a few hooks. Urbanski's just getting some instructions there, whereas, oh, now Jorgensen's coach is doing the same thing. Looks like they're getting a few tactics here, rather than in the last few bouts we've seen more mental states where the manager's trying to tell them to calm down, but this game seems to be that the managers are telling them to just go for it.
Urbanski's coach seems to be focused on getting the right hook in.
Jorgensen looks prepared for this one as they touch gloves. Got a couple of right hooks in there as they're going for the clinch. Urbanski's still trying to hit him.
Straight away, more jabs in the second round than the first.
Jorgensen's just getting his guard up a little bit more in this round. Oh, that's a strong right hook there, and again, and again.
That's what Jorgensen can do. He can punish you if you let your guard down.
He throws a few feint punches with that left leading arm, puts up his guard again.
Going closer to the ropes, but when Urbanski lets his guard down, Jorgensen punishes him.
Urbanski just needs to keep that guard up and go for a few punches where it's safe to do so. For the minute, he seems a bit all over the place. He just needs to settle down, otherwise this is going to be an overall victory for Hallam.
Tension from both competitors once again.
Up against the ropes. Going for another clinch.
Jorgensen seems to voluntarily go up against the ropes, and then when Urbanski has his guard down, trying to punish him with right hooks, a couple of uppercuts.
Urbanski can stay in here. It might be that Jorgensen just tires a little bit because he's too energetic. He's jumping around the ring.
He may become heavy-handed very quickly.
I think with that size advantage, one big right hook from Jorgensen could end this here.
However, on the other hand, if Jorgensen isn't covered, Urbanski could get a few right hooks as well.
There's a rabbit punch there from Jorgensen. Urbanski seems to be on the front foot a little bit, but that might change shortly.
Urbanski seems to be covering himself quite well here.
Urbanski's settling into the match here.
Urbanski is going quite low at points, and that gives Jorgensen an opportunity to get a few hits in, just like we saw there.
Jorgensen's throwing in a few surprise right hooks there. That is round 2. Still evenly contested, but I think Jorgensen just has the upper hand.
Jorgensen ended that round with a multitude of punches to the side of Urbanski's head.
Still all to play for these two competitors, as this is a very good boxing bout. Who do you think has the upper hand, Alan?
I think going into the third round, Jorgensen's capitalised quite well. He's seen his advantages with the height difference, and I think that's clinical going into the third round. What do you think must be going through Urbanski's mind right now?
I think he just needs to hold in there. Jorgensen's getting tired. I think that both bouters will go to the end. But I think, yeah, they just need to hold in there. And it could be a very close call. I think it will be a split decision from the officials. Here we go, round 3. Jorgensen's still got energy to be bouncing around the ring like that. Urbanski's going in for a few lower punches just above the belt line. Crowd are on their feet. Urbanski's going for it.
Urbanski finding some openings.
The height disadvantage coming into play as he can't quite reach him. And as I said at the beginning, oh, here we go. Going for another clinch. As I said at the beginning, Jorgensen's a bit taller, so he's leaning back more rather than ducking, because if he ducked the punches, then obviously Urbanski's at that level, so he can just hit him easier. So he's leaning back to being an outside fighter, and it's making it tough for Urbanski here.
However, Urbanski has found a few openings, the home crowd firmly behind him.
He's getting a few headshots in there. Both bouters seem to be tiring a little bit. Jorgensen's not bouncing around as much. His leg seems to be failing him a little bit.
His guard seems to be down.
Urbanski's coming in.
This is where Urbanski can capitalise. A few shots to the right side of Jorgensen.
Just needs a few hard combos to get the match finished.
Once again, some clinching. Both competitors looking quite tired now.
He needs to do something special to save this from being an overall Hallam victory. He gets him on the ropes.
What a shot from Urbanski.
Jorgensen is looking tired now. Just one shot, one hook, one uppercut could get him down, and
this
that would
is an
be
opportunity for Younis to level it. Urbanski, there's no pin with Jorgensen. His guard's down.
He's up against the ropes. His guard's down. Again, his legs are failing. He's being pushed around here by Urbanski. Goes in for the clinch again. Urbanski's got the upper hand here, I think.
Urbanski done just above the belt, more clinches from both competitors.
Jorgensen is just losing his balance. He's too tired. The uni crowd are going crazy, and that is round 3. They touch gloves.
That initial influx of energy from Jorgensen may have punished him later on.
What did you think of that overall, Alan?
I think it's a very good bout. I think Urbanski knew Jorgensen's weaknesses and capitalised. He manages to use his height difference to an advantage, going just above the belt.
Yeah, it's going to be very tough to call. Obviously, as we said before, they're the same weight, different heights, and that could come into the disadvantage for Urbanski, but we'll see what the officials call this one.
What a fantastic bout that was. Let's come to the best bout of the round. Cheers for both boxers.
Crowd commending both of the bouters here.
And the results of round number 9, your winner by a split decision, Sam Urbanski.
There we go, that's 4-all. Going into the final bout of this evening. Urbanski has done it. He's brought back a 4-2 loss.
We'll come back well and truly on. This is going to go down to the wire.
The University of Sheffield crowd go mental. That has been a very well fought contest from Urbanski there. I thought he was down in the first 2 rounds. But then, like I said, Jorgensen just lost it. He went in too hard and too fast, and he's just run out of energy again. Just going to go over to the ringside team now.
Wow, wow, wow. What an absolutely fantastic bout, and it does go down to the wire. Sam Urbanski put it out of the bag there when he needed to, Adam.
Urbanski, oh my God. How we predicted it, didn't we? We said, oh, wouldn't it be amazing if this happened? And it's coming true. I can't wait for the next one.
What does that do, Ollie, now?
Oh God, I'm so excited. That was incredible. I was watching that next to Jordan there. We couldn't decide who was going to win. We didn't know who was going to get it. And it is all tied going to last round. What an incredible bout that was. You know, University of Sheffield fighter won the first round, Hallam won the second round, and then the University of Sheffield boxer won the third. And wow, so close as well. By far, I think the best technical boxing of the event so far. And the last bout is going to start any second now. And this is it. This is the one that counts.
This really is it. We head into bout number 10 very shortly. Raj Patel, Younis versus Saul Holland, Sheffield Hallam. That really will be the decider. It is stood at 4-all. But I mean, that is going to live long in the memory, isn't it, Alan?
Urbanski must be so happy right now. We'll talk to him in a second, but I just can't wait. He must be absolutely ecstatic right now.
Well, Sam Urbanski is here. Congratulations. You really, really needed that. How are you feeling?
I feel great. I feel like I've left it all there. Going into the last round, basically Callan told me that the first 2 were tied, so if I really want to get that win, I need to pick up the pace. I did. Props to Alex. Alex is freaking tough. He can take a shot. Props to Alex as well for that. So.
You were phenomenal in the 3rd round. That was incredible. How are you kind of managing your energy and really making sure that you could kind of do well in that 3rd round and not gas out?
I'm a type of fighter. I have a very slow start. So you could see in the 1st round that I was just getting hit for the most part. I was really slow. But as soon as I picked up my pace and I knew that this was it for the uni, for me, for everyone. I just knew that I had to dig really deep. But it was left there in the 3rd round. I picked up the pace and managed to get the win. So.
Did you know the score of the Varsity so far before you came in?
Yeah, well, going into the fight, I knew there were 2 points, 1 point down. I needed to tie it so that we have a chance. Now we did it, and it's up to Raj, and I'm 100% confident that Raj will bring home a win for Uni.
Well done, phenomenal. Well done. Have a go. Enjoy your evening.
Well done.
Yes, that was really incredible. What an eloquent speaker as well after such an important win. I was very impressed by that.
I wouldn't be like that. Certainly not. So 6-foot mechanical engineer Raj Patel faces 6'6" marketing student Saul Holland. That is going to be a big advantage, isn't it, for Hallam?
6'6", as we can see. But I mean, so in the last fight, height isn't everything. It's also about the skill and your technique. So it's got to be up to see which one has the most technique and skill and footwork to come through on top.
We tried to be, relatively unbiased so far throughout the evening, but I'm not going to lie, I'm rooting for the University of Sheffield here. There's another mechanical engineer as well. I want Raz to go and do it, and the atmosphere is off the wall right now. It doesn't get any better than this. The crowd is going crazy. All the University of Sheffield offers a team, and you can see them celebrating behind us as well. Yeah. And yeah, it's just phenomenal. This is the best event, in my opinion, in Varsity, and it's come down to the best possible ending.
And will Patel do it? Can he do it?
Yes, obviously. I think he's going to do it. We don't know. It depends
he's got
on
that
how.
Height, though, that massive difference in height.
Yeah, that difference in height, obviously. But, in the last fight, the height difference didn't serve the Sheffield Hallam boxer. So, it doesn't necessarily always work, but sometimes it is an advantage.
So this really is what it all comes down to then. Raj Patel versus Saul Holland. The crowd is going to go wild either way. But so far, atmosphere has been absolutely fantastic. This really will take the roof off, won't it?
Yeah,
either way.
Yeah, either way. I just know. I mean, the roar that just happened at the end of that fight, it's going to be times 10 at the end of this. It'll be amazing.
Yeah, we're going to I'm going to give the trophy to Jordan Gill. He's going to go up and celebrate, and let's see who can win the last one.
Representing Sheffield University, Raj Patel.
comes down to this. The atmosphere synonymous like a Roman Colosseum. A night of enthralling, frantic, frenetic action. 4 apiece for the University of Sheffield and Sheffield Hallam. Raj Patel against Sal Holland. Well, wow, this could be some ending.
Tell you what, we have made it to the end of an amazing night. It has been back and forth through and through, and it has gone down to the wire. We have got Saul Holland, the tall and rangy fighter. I've been in the ring with both of these lads. Saul's got a good jab if he uses it. Raj, the more mature fighter, if I'd say so myself, the more mature boxer. I just think it's going to come down to who wants it more, because both of these lads, I feel, are going to slow down towards the end, and it's going to become a real tight 2-horse race, if you will.
You can sense the tension in the Octagon. The spectators around this arena awaiting this final bout. A battle, you'd have to say, of height, with Saul Holland 6'6" and the wit of Raj Patel 2 years older.
And I'll tell you what, compared to how this evening started, look at that crowd. Everyone is on their feet. They are all behind this.
Well, you can get a sense of the atmosphere here from the cheers. Everyone you can see around us believing, thinking that this will be potentially the best bout of the evening under the most incredible pressure that you could ever imagine in a potential varsity opener.
And let's be happy we just get to sit back and watch it. Let's let the lads do their thing and hope for the best.
Both fighters 85 kilograms each. They made their bout debut last week. They made their first bout debut last week. This is their debut at Varsity. And my word, what an arena, what an occasion, and what a time to make an impact tonight.
It's all ready to go there.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Patel.
Straight on the jab.
And Holland.
Holland coming straight through the middle. Saul's got to get on that jab and he's got to keep that guard tight.
Raj starting this bout fantastically well. A great right look there, but Holland ducked from that. A fair few jabs there from Patel early on, but Holland standing his mark.
It's a lovely exchange of straight shots to start the match off. But at the moment, I feel like Saul just wants to be stepping off a little bit, because as Raj gets on the inside, it becomes more to his advantage. Although, don't get me wrong, they're both exchanging really well, but it can be a telltale sign if Raj starts landing them body shots on the inside.
Both boxers controlling the centre of the ring here, exchanging that territory here. An exchange of jabs there as we see Raj Patel just with a bit of low centre of gravity there, looking for the left jab there, but it's missed.
Good jab that he landed afterwards.
Yeah, landed that afterwards. Good exchange there. Patel, Holland, eager-eyed, hunting each other down in this frantic atmosphere here. The first shouts of Uni you can hear across this arena. Hallam likely to respond, and they do as such. Both fighters looking for their prey here.
Saul starting to take the advantage here. He's landed a couple of good right hands. Raj has already started to slow down. That was some good head movement to start the round, but he needs to keep it up. He needs to get himself inside and start unloading his own shots. Saul is slowly taking the advantage here, and I think the round's gone to him so far.
Holland just about making sure that he has that territory in the middle of the ring. Patel now
taking one himself now.
Left jab there. Holland responds as such there. The right jab from Patel.
Good shots there from Raj.
Exchanges there from Patel. Holland backs off, and now Holland is on the front foot here. Well, pretty competitive this.
I'll tell you what, this first round tells the story of the entire night. How back and forth. Started out, Raj, good head movement, getting himself inside. Saul picks it up, starts landing the jab and the backhand. Raj brings it back near the end. It becomes a little exchange. We have got a good fight ahead of us, a good match even.
Who would you say did the better out of that round then?
Well, it was very back and forth, but I think Saul landed a couple of very good right hands and that they're going to score better for him.
Do you think that height of 6'6" will have an impact in this? Because it's already clear from our view here that Saul Holland's reach is certainly greater than that of Raj. Raj has got in that low centre of gravity there, looking for the movement up.
That height can definitely tell the difference, but it's if he uses it. So far, he hasn't used it. He has been exchanging with Raj, and don't get me wrong, he's doing a great job. This is an amazing match to watch, but if he wants to be smart and he wants to make sure he wins this, he's got to start boxing smart. He's got to be on the end of that jab and using that backhand to keep him at range.
Well, it's an eerie atmosphere now. The crowd has just about fallen silent with those two boxers sitting down there. The level of respect's evident, but here we go, in round two for this last bout. Currently University of Sheffield 4, Hallam 4, and both fighters exchanging a few jabs there.
Picking up where they left off. What a brilliant exchange, but Saul is getting the better still. Brilliant right hands that he's landing.
Holland, 3 jabs there, 2 of them hit Patel's face. Patel responded well.
Not backing off in the slightest, he's still in this and he still wants to go, but I'm already seeing telltale signs that Raj is going to slow down. He's becoming a bit sluggish, and I think that's... Oh, he's taken another right hand.
Patel now on the front foot. There was a bit of sweat there flying across the ring there, as we see Holland now responding alike, with Patel just about getting his way away from the ring side.
Don't know what the referee stopped this for. I think he's just deducted a point for a head clash.
Head clash there, deducted point for Patel. How crucial could that be come to the end of the bout?
I think that tells you now Raj has got a mountain to climb. He has really got to push the pace now, because Saul in the exchanges has been getting the better with the right hands. I don't think for a moment that Patel's out of this, but he's got to pick this up. It's going to go right down to the wire if he gives it everything.
Holland now hunting down his prey like a predator in the outback. But here comes Patel. Here comes Patel. An exchange of hits there. Another right hand, and there Holland just backed away. He took the hit just about there, but another break, another exchange here.
Tell you what, Saul's starting to calm down now. He's becoming a bit more rangy, and he's making it harder for Raj, and that's just...
Patel, right hook there.
Another one.
Holland responding with a left jab of his own, and now Holland with a few jabs there of his own to combine with that left hook after he took the hit.
Keep that jab
and
going.
Now
keep that jab.
Holland just working the
Brilliant
jab
right hands from Holland. Now he's got him on the ropes. Raj fires back, and it's a good round again. But that one was a bit more convincing in my favour. I give that to Saul. Only thing letting Raj down at the moment is his stamina. It has been an amazing bout so far, but I feel like it's just slowly declining and it's going in Saul's favour.
Holland used a fair few jabs there. How crucial is that as a tactic when you come into these kind of bouts then?
Well, especially with Saul's height advantage, he wants to keep using that jab, and he's been landing it really well. And what I'm impressed with most is the straightness and the technique in that backhand. It is landed almost every time, and it is scored every time, and that is really working in his favour at the moment.
So what does Raj Patel have to do now going into this final
He has got to tighten up,
bout?
he has got to bite down, and he has got to go in there. He's got to close that distance, and he's got to get Saul onto them ropes, and he's got to unload on him. He's going to have to sink some into that body. He's got to try and force the referee to get in there and maybe give a few counts, because he's already down with a point deducted, and I give the first 2 rounds to Saul. But what an amazing fight.
Here we go. The crowd can sense how significant this is. The final round of the final bout of this year's Varsity Boxing here at the Octagon. And Patel has to go for it. The feeling is, from our point of view, is that Holland has taken the first 2 rounds. And Patel just trying to get the left hook there, but Holland responded well. Ducks from that.
Holland's just got that bit more bounce in his step. And another right hand. That right hand is scoring so well at the moment. But Patel, what heart and determination from both lads. They have exchanged all through this match, and they have not backed down once.
Holland looking for the right uppercut there, and he connected to Patel's shin. Patel took it.
Neither lad's hurt, both tired. Raj might be about to wither.
Going for it right now.
He's got to land something back.
Patel just about gets away with that one, but Holland
wants to use that head. He wants to move his head. He wants to get that right hand over the top. Saul's left arm is starting to drop. He needs to get the right hand over the top.
A right hook there from Holland. Patel just about got away with that one, but Patel has to make sure that right uppercut there from Holland.
Left in the tank.
Patel took that as well, but Patel has to make sure he can gain some territory here. We're not too far into...
Tell you what, these backhands, it's a brilliant match from both of them, but Saul has really impressed me with his boxing here.
And
a bit of kidology there.
Bit of cockiness from Saul Holland. He thinks he knows he has won this bout. Patel, the drive, the determination, the desire is still there, but is there enough in the tank for him to produce a response?
We're into the last 20 seconds of this match.
Patel has to respond, but his legs have gone. His knees look like they could
closing on them those last 10 seconds. Here we go.
But the
Another right
is there. Holland knows he potentially has this in the bag. But
Rash is giving it one last go, and he's coming forward.
Hunting Holland down here, but is it too little, too late? That is the question. Holland, I think, tactically here. Holland raises his fist. But it's not just the Hallam supporters, the University of Sheffield supporters applaud in a line, and that is a testament to not what has just been a memorable bout here, but what a fantastic evening of boxing we have had tonight. It has gone right down to the wire, and, well,
tell you what a brilliant showcase. Everyone tonight has given it everything. We've seen knockdowns, we've seen toe-to-toe exchanges, we've seen some brilliant boxing. We've had a bit of everything tonight. Everyone has made these unis proud.
Well, you can see in the distance there, Raj Patel supporters have the Indian flag aloft, but is it too little, too late?
And look at that round of applause, the crowd's loving it.
The respect is admirable, but here is the result.
Your winner by a unanimous decision, Holland in the world corner.
It's 3-3 in the overall varsity standings. From the winter varsity in December, the University of Sheffield led 3-1. Hallam last night won the ice hockey 6-3. Tonight, it has been tense, it has been tenacious, it has been high-spirited, and my word, high quality. But Hallam, as Holland takes the Hallam cap, the famous maroon and white, as the medal is strung around his face.
Tell you what, and a big shout out.
5-4 win.
Big shout out to everyone tonight. Big shout out to Brendan Warburton at Sheffield City. He has put together an amazing show with well-matched competition, and it has been a pleasure to watch.
Well, Raj Patel will stand there and watch Holland take that trophy, but my word, the respect and the determination and the drive for both of these boxers tonight, Will.
You can't match it. You know, this is what you come to watch in boxing. Heart, determination. It's beautiful. It's amazing. Proud of everyone that's been in there tonight.
And what now? What now for boxing in general, in terms of both universities going into the future? Because what's an advertisement for anyone who wants to get involved in boxing, I guess?
Well, I'd say we had our most successful year yet going into the university championships. We came back with, I think, 4, potentially 5 gold medals. We did amazing, and next year I feel like we're going to have an even stronger team. It's going to be a really good year for both universities, and I feel like next year's varsity is going to top this one. We're only going up from here. It's going to be great.
And how significant is it when it goes right down to the wire? Because the University of Sheffield, we thought, could make a comeback. It wasn't to be in the end. Hallam just took it, but how close was that?
Well, the crowd speaks for it, mate. Honestly, it has been so to the wire, and everyone has loved it. The fighters, the boxers will have felt it. I just... Sorry, we'll have to...
And here we go to the MC for the final standings. What a night it's been.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes your entertainment this evening. Thank you very much for your attendance. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. And I'd say it's a privilege for me to live in a city that has 2 such good universities. And I hope after you finish your studies, you stop in Sheffield or visit Sheffield, a place where I'm proud to call home. Thank you very much. Have a safe journey home.
Well, what a fantastic bout to end what has undoubtedly been an absolutely fantastic night. Victory for Sheffield Hallam, though, but what a brilliant evening under
Have been absolutely impeccable tonight, and it just shows the quality of boxing that we have at these 2 unis.
This is the best varsity boxing I've ever seen.
Yes,
wow, incredible, you know, and Hallam deserved the win there. What an incredible last bout. Such a great performance. He really dominated the entire 3 rounds. So yeah, you know, commiserations to University of Sheffield and congratulations to Hallam. I believe this now draws his level on overall varsity points.
Yes, 3-3. Saul Holland actually got the boxer of the evening, so he really did box well, didn't he?
I know, yeah, and just going with all that adrenaline, knowing it's you're the one that has to make the difference tonight, and he's gone and smashed it.
And commiserations to Patel, but he boxed well, didn't he?
Yeah, he had some good moments. He didn't win any rounds, but he had some really good moments. There were times where I was like, oh, this could get stopped, especially early on. He was strong at the start. But yeah, he did fade towards the end slightly, but at least, you know, if I was him, you know, he got to be involved in that last bout, which is incredible, and, you know, he stayed on his feet, which is always something as well.
Well, Adam, Ollie, thank you very much for this evening. 3-3 then overall in the varsity standings. Stay tuned to Forge TV for all that's coming up after Easter. And from us here at the Octagon, thank you very much. Good night.